What is up, Friday Nighters? Welcome back to another episode of Just Another Friday Night. I am one of your tonight three hosts, CM Chuck. Alongside me, as always, AA Adamantium Adam. And the man in the middle tonight is Jack of Toy Dojo and Drunken Productionz. Guys, you may have seen his videos on YouTube reviewing a Transformer, telling you how it comes together, gets pulled apart, and what it comes with. Or you may have seen him really, really drunk talking about a Transformer.
Kind of talking about a Transformer.
Guys, check out his Toy Dojo, though. He can tell you which Transformer you need to get and from what distributor.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to think how sometimes other toy makers have the better versions than the American versions. So it's a pretty interesting look at the Transformers wheelings and dealings.
Yeah, let me throw that up there real quick. I think it's one of the websites here.
Yep.
And it's toydojo.com. And that's
find it on YouTube.
Is the links there, Jack, for
so
YouTube?
for all the reviews I do, I actually put links to the figure itself that I'm reviewing on that video. Yeah.
Great. And then also we've got Drunken Productionz here.
Yeah, so if you're a collector, check out the Toy Dojo. It's a really interesting look, and he'll show you how to transform the Transformers itself.
Which sometimes is half the battle, right? When we're speaking of, things like that.
Yeah.
And knowing is half the battle.
And that's right. Knowing is half the battle. And guys, in case you don't know where you are tonight, again, this is Just Another Friday Night, the Just Another Friday Night podcast, and you can find us there. So that is us, guys. You know what we like to do at the beginning of every show? Give a few minutes to allow people to stroll on into the live. Send us your highs and hellos and your comments. And we'll read them and we'll interact with you. We always welcome if you're joining us on the Friday night broadcast live on Facebook to comment, add your part of the conversation.
Yeah,
typically
join us in.
We typically read comments every 30 minutes. That's when we take a little mini break in the beginning, not from the live, but just for our audio listeners, so that it can load up and do its little thing. But during that time, we read comments. But comment throughout. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just get off track and read them anyway. So that's us. Speaking of which, we have Roxanne in the house who says, "Hey guys," and "Hey Jack."
Hey Roxanne.
And my mom is here. So hi, Mom. So yeah, there you go, guys. We're drinking some beverages tonight. Jack, what are you having in your giant size mug there?
So it's a Dos Equis, but I actually have three of them in here, so it's a Tres Equis.
Oh, Tres Equis. There you go.
Yeah, if I'm being honest.
Or it's actually 3 times 2, so six
Equis.
Six is that's a lot of Equis up in that motherfucker right there.
It is.
AA, you having some Dos Equis as well, I believe?
Yeah, everyone that see me over the few weeks know that's my choice of beer.
Joe is in the house. What up, Joe?
Joe?
Got the distinct pleasure of meeting Joe in person for the first time last week after going to El Luchador Bar with our old friends, Jesse and Billy. We had to deliver some merch there, guys. If you got to see the very beautiful Tony rocking our Just Another Friday Night t-shirt, guys, go see her at El Luchador Bar on Wednesdays and Fridays. She made
our shirt look really good, better than what we could ever do.
Yeah, I never wear a shirt that looks like that good. I think I showed you those pictures.
Oh, I saw the picture. I was like, they don't look that good wearing that shirt.
No, not even close. So you want to see a nice picture of the t-shirt, go take a look at Tony.
Look at a real model.
So,
that'll make you want to buy the shirt. I promise you that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Joe, welcome, man. It was a great pleasure to meet you, brother. And we'll do it again sometime soon, hopefully. Yelly in the house.
Yelly.
Primos, I miss you guys. What up, Yelly? And Dad's in the house. What up, Pop? Guys, again, thank you all for joining our Facebook Live. Again, if you're listening on audio, every Friday night we go live, and you can join the conversation and be a part of it, the show, not just listening to us yammer on and on and on.
Yeah.
But without further ado, I guess should we bring up right away what the topic is, or should we challenge it? What else happened in news this week?
Well, I was going to say, so I got some stuff on Saturday.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's right. Right. I forgot about that.
Mario was having this huge blowout sale of statues, so I went by Authority Comics at Traders. And, well, first off, I want to say that last week I said I had the first appearance of Vengeance. This week, I got the first appearance of him before he turned into Vengeance, when he was called Michael Bandolino.
Oh, okay, nice.
Ex-Special Forces cop hunting down Ghost Rider. This cover is from Joe Quesada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's a nice, awesome
cover. Yeah. So, vicious fucking cop on his looking for Ghost Rider. He's looking for Ghost Rider because they don't believe he's real. So, but vicious motherfucker. I can see why he turned into Vengeance.
I love Ghost Rider, man.
Then I went to Mario, Super Mario at Authority Comics, and I picked up DC Comics New 52, still when Sinestro's Green Lantern still, and him and Hal fighting together. What a great cover that is.
Wow, nice. That one's cool.
And then, since he was having a sale, he gave me a really great deal on these two great statues. Sinestro and Hal Jordan. He let me have them both for $40 each. $40 total. I'm sorry, total. $40 total. This one usually goes for $60 alone. So thank you, Mario. And I wanted to do a little unboxing.
Yeah, guys, if you collect statues, you know that statues you're not ever going to get two for 40. So if you guys get a chance, Mario's continuing the sale this weekend.
His sale tomorrow.
Out at Traders Village, Authority Comics, 15th Street in the back near Freddy Fender's bumper cars. Go see Mario. Oh man, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful, man. Look at that paint.
Sinestro.
Yeah.
Dang.
The green, right?
Yeah,
the green really pops, man.
I mean, look at that. It's like a metallic green.
And then if you're familiar, they have the symbols of all the other rings on the base.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. I love that pose too with the hand.
Yeah. Even though he's a Green Lantern, he still looks like a mean motherfucker.
Sinestro's a bad dude. I think we all know.
So there's a Sinestro.
That's really nice.
Of course, I had to get the greatest Green Lantern.
You got to go there.
Hal Jordan.
While Double A opens that up, I'll read a few more comments here. Joe says it was a good time. Just missed you, Double A. Yeah, Double A was missed. Dad says, go Brady, number 7 Super Bowl ring. Hey, we don't know. History will be made either way. Am I right, Jack?
It's going to be quite, absolutely right.
The Super Bowl this weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeremy in the house. What up, Jeremy? Says, yo. Roxanne said, man, that statue looks beautiful.
That is.
And then Joe said, Dad says, I hate that guy. I don't know who you're referring to. Which guy, Dad? Yelly says, cool. And then Steve says, cheers, Chuck and Adam. And Jack.
Steve.
So cheers, guys. Cheers to Steve.
Cheers.
Steve's a good old friend, Jack. Always here on Friday nights with us, joining the show.
Okay, and so here's the Hal Jordan one, bursting through the power battery.
That's a cool setup, cool pose.
Amazing looking. When I saw those, I just fell in love with it immediately. And I asked him how much for both. He said 40 for both of them. This is the one that goes for $60.
Yeah,
easy.
That's a great pose. It's a great looking Green Lantern.
Yeah, he's just
I love like the classic looking Green Lantern like that with the black arms, the white gloves, the green center.
So here it is.
Super Friends one.
Yeah, right. Really, it is
from Authority Comics. Okay, check him out all this weekend. He's having more sales on his statues. You're not going to be able to beat this prices that he has for some really great quality statues.
And guys, he's got some gorgeous stuff out there, way bigger than that. Those guys are like will fit right here in this. He's got some that are huge, man. Silver Surfer, Ghost Rider, Conan out there. He's got an Elvira that is beyond belief.
Yeah, Red Sonja, Vampirella, everything under the sun.
Mario Delgado, Authority Comics has brought out the big guns. Who else we got here in the house? Jason Ruiz from Hondo, Texas. What up, Hondo, Texas?
Jason?
What up, Jason? Appreciate you being here, man. Dad says the first Green Lantern is who he hates. Yep. Okay. Well, yeah, that movie was trash. So, excuse me.
It was.
Aaron in the house. He says, "What's up, guys? Who is that? That's Jack, Aaron.
Hey, come on, Aaron. I look different, but that's me. I grew this in. I think you remember me being clean the last time I saw you.
Sometimes we were, and it's been a while since they've seen old Jackie boy here. Yeah,
but I don't age.
That's hey, man. Yeah, I don't. That's a great thing because I know I do, and I'm just getting more around. You know what I mean? So. Hey, I got a couple of things I'd like to show. I picked up some comics this week, but I didn't bring them. I'm gonna save them for next week. What else I got?
That is Jack.
That is me.
So I'm gonna start with this piece right here, guys. This came in the mail.
Super cool.
The Havoc staff. I didn't know what's called that. Did you know what's called that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, so this is cool. I'm gonna open it here. I opened this at home real quick, but I'm gonna let the guys check it out and play around with it. Guys, I ordered this from Hot Topic a long time ago, and it wasn't like actually out yet. And it barely came in the mail, and I thought they were bigger. I told Double A here, Jack, that I thought they were the size of those old toy ones.
Oh yeah.
So I thought they were a little bit bigger, $40.
Right. Yeah.
So wrong, not that size. So,
yeah.
I imagine how a lot of ladies must feel on some weekend nights, and it's not the size I wanted.
That's right.
Yeah, right. But check it out.
I mean, hey, it depends on how you describe it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Heavy metal there, metallic purple. We talked about metallic.
Yeah, that's a nice die cast.
Kind of neat, right?
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
I mean, I don't know where the hell I'd put it though, or how you'd set that up. You know what I mean? But it's
I can put it with my collection. I'll hold it for you.
Oh, there you
go. I'll hold it. When you figure out where you want to put it, you can put it there.
There you go, right? See, and of course, you can't get the Havoc stuff without getting, of course, the Power Sword.
That's right.
The Power Sword, man.
You know, and again, I thought I was going to be able to swing this around and hit people with it. So, but sadly, no. I guess it'd be something cool on your desk, right? Set it up.
It would be cool, yeah. Especially if you can kind of set it up like this.
Yeah, somehow.
Man, that Power Sword just looks beautiful.
That is beautiful. Look at nice chromed out.
Yeah,
man, that thing is beautiful.
Super.
Jack, you stand stuff up all the time, so you help me.
Yeah, I can find you some little stands that will hold these things up. Man, this is fucking beautiful.
It's because they're heavy, right? They're metal.
Yeah, they're die-cast metal, I can tell.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this one's chrome plated. That one is a purple chrome plate. So that, man, those are beautiful.
One just looks sweet.
Yeah, it does. Look at that. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Pretty cool, right?
The power.
It's heavy. We can reenact that last scene. See, there you go, right there. This is what you guys come Friday night for, to watch us play with toys, right?
Hey, don't let his brother around
with toy Dojo.
That's right.
Oh, I know. We gotta watch out for Friday night or boy.
Yeah, boy will go in there and take those from you.
And last but not least, Jack, you may have got wind of these that had come out, but
the ultimate terrorist.
There you go, right there, and he comes with like a cool little sword and then a pistol, like a snake pistol. Yes. And I actually ordered 2 of these, so we'll do an unboxing video for our YouTube because our YouTube, we had videos coming out every day all last month, but of course it slowed down because now we're caught up and our episodes are coming out live. So I mean that's all we can do for now. So I'll do an unboxing video of that one and show it off. I could play with the little parts or whatever. But let's get back into the comments here and see what we got. I got to go up a little bit.
Right there.
Aaron says, let's see. Aaron says, holy shit, Jack, is that you? He said, yes. Dad says, Silver Surfer. Yes, Dad, Mario has the Silver Surfer out there. It is on sale. I don't know what that sale price is. He says, you got to come into the shop to ask prices.
Yeah.
Steve says, what's on the wall, guys? There's a little bit of a variety up there, Steve. You see a couple of different things. I don't have the ability to zoom in and anything like that yet on this camera.
We got some He-Mans, some G.I. Joes, some Skeletor drawings, the enemies of the Masters, the enemies of the Transformers.
So if you guys kind of pick up the theme is kind of building here. The theme is kind of building. This is my boys in the hood right here.
Where do you get that shirt from?
Actually, there's a gift from Friday Night East.
Wow.
One of that Ripped Apparel or whatever. He orders all those. They do a lot of really cool stuff.
I gotta get. That's a bad.
Yeah, they merge like different things.
Yeah.
TikTok, Chelsea, as another Friday night. So please go follow us on TikTok. It is the exact same as our Instagram.
And you can see the wall a lot better.
I took a lot better picture of the wall. I'm going to start to try to do that more because Double A does a great job on the wall and I don't always showcase it like I should. So less of our faces, which you watch for 2 hours when we do the show, and more of the wall and the stuff in the room because that's really great. So guys,
there you go, Chelsea.
There you go. So please go follow us, Chelsea. Yeah, we've got a few videos out there, not that many. Foxy Roxy saes they have oh shit, I just said that. Yeah, they do have. Okay. Okay, all right. Yeah, Aaron do a TikTok. We do a TikTok. We do a TikTok.
Hey, he called us your fucks.
Man, your fucks.
Yeah, okay.
Yelly says LMFAO.
All right.
Jason says I collect Red Hulk. Right on, man. I don't know if Mario has any Red Hulk out there. He used to have one, I thought.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. Red Hulk.
I know you're in Hondo. How far is Hondo, Jack?
It's from Traders Village. It's not far at all.
Yeah, from us, it's probably about 30 minutes,
maybe 45.
Yeah, okay. It's a straight shot on the 90. Yeah,
Jason, if you ever go to Traders Village, man, go see Mario Delgado.
You know Mario.
Yeah, he'll definitely take care of you, man. Let's see what else here. Roxanne says, I'm sorry. Aaron says, fucking power sword. And Roxy says, oh man, I have the power. What's up, dear Sandra? Letter opener. Yeah, I guess it could be.
Yeah, man, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? I'll be the dummy trying to open it with the ram head, right?
Yeah, right, really. And then somehow you'll stab yourself with the ram head.
Yeah, with the ram head, right? That'll be me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Aaron says, where can I get Double A's tea? This specific tea you can get at 3thehardway.com. Go check that website out. We also do have other teas currently right now on 3leggedrabbit.com, including beanies, hats, and some other stuff that Lucky has been so gracious to put us out on that website. If I could talk, that would probably fucking help. So let's see. There's that. Mom says we keep freezing. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's our poor connection or poor connection.
I think it's your internet.
It may be. It may be someone else's internet connection. Joe says Kevin Smith does his Master of the Universe show.
Yeah, I've been hearing more and more.
Yeah, I've been hearing about.
They said Mark Hamill kills it as
yes.
I cannot wait.
I can see that though. I can see that for sure because he killed his Joker. So I mean, I can see that.
Aaron says Ricky Doughboy. Yeah, these are different boys. These are boys in the hoods, not boys in the hood. But yes, I love that reference. Let's see here. Steve says Hondo 37 minutes. There you go, right there, right on time.
Perfect.
You can get geography lessons here, guys, and a little bit of knowledge about pop culture, hopefully. Right. Crystal's in the house. Hi, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
And Roxy says we froze for her too. I don't know why that is, guys. We're using the StreamYard. We're not going live directly through Facebook anymore. I'm using this other app. This other app lets me bring up these little.
We've been on this for like about 2 weeks already.
Yeah, 2 weeks now. So we're sorry if Jack's just regularly frozen. He's Jack. If you want to see him unfrozen, go check him out on Drunken Productionz on YouTube, and he's very, very animated there.
So if I may,
please.
That one right there. I mean, so I have two YouTube channels, which he said a minute ago. Toy Dojo. That one I do a more serious take on Transformers, right? Serious. I'm all, hey, here's the figure, all that. The other one, Drunken Productionz, we try and do reviews on toys, but a lot of times we're so damn drunk, like we fucking, and it's not for kids. So if you want to say, hey, look at this, do not let your kids watch that.
Toy Dojo.
Toy Dojo,
yes. Toy Dojo kids, Drunken Productionz. No kids at all.
Toy Dojo. Now you guys got like 6K followers on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
this is a really serious, really deep dive into only Transformers.
Correct. Transformers.
Yeah, only and you reviews. So Jack, tell us a little bit about that collecting neighborhood, right? So like, what happens is that there's other companies that produce a same figure, but they make it better. So let's just for example, I have this Cobra Commander, which is here from Hasbro. Is, there would be someone would say, man, this is cool, but I want one where the mask comes off and where he's got a snake head underneath or whatever. A third party company could build that.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. So third party companies typically will take a figure and they'll say, you know what, we're going to change it up a little bit. We want to make it look better, or we want to give it our own spin on it, right? So that's what third party companies do. Now, however, lately, the likes of Hasbro, because mainly in Transformer lore, Hasbro's been cracking down on a lot of them because they're like, no, you're stealing our intellectual property.
Okay.
However, it's like they
Seems like a valid argument.
It does, right? But so what these third-party companies do, they'll take the figure, they won't name it the same thing. They won't call it Cobra Commander, right? We'll go for that example. They'll call it whatever they want to call it, right?
Cobra Leader.
Yeah, Cobra Leader or Leader Commander, right?
Okay.
Whatever, right? So they'll do that, and then they'll make it look exactly like it. But the thing is, right now, the way I kind of understand it is, if Hasbro or any other official company wanted to come out and try and sue these guys, they can say, well, you've let it go for this long, and now you want to say something? It's like if somebody came and was playing in your backyard and you were okay with it, right? And all of a sudden you have a problem with it and you want to sue them. Well, you can't, because you let them play so long, and now you want to make a big stink about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So really they have no – Hasbro is Transformers, correct?
Correct, right, yeah.
They have no valid argument?
Yeah, unless now there are some companies that are third-party companies that will straight up steal it, right? So they'll take this figure right here exactly, and all they'll do is they'll either release it the same size, or they may make it smaller and make it bigger, and then for sure, then at that point they can say, no, you stole that from us.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I would say what's interesting though is what Jack told me though is that Megatron. So you know how he changed this into a gun.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
US, they stopped doing that.
That's right.
But if you get it from another party, they still sell them as a gun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
now I've also seen your videos before, Jack, and you say sometimes, of course, the one thing they can't really do is they don't come with all the right badging, like
right.
They don't have the Decepticon, but you can
Correct.
A third party does stickers,
right?
And you can add them on
Yeah.
yourself. Okay.
Correct. Right. Yeah.
So there's a little ways around it, guys. And how long have we been collecting, all of us that are collectors or that like those kind of toys, or remember the toys you had when you were a kid and you were like, man, I want one just like that one. And for whatever reason, safety issue, whatever. I talked about that Rancor I got during Christmas, and it's like the nails were so sharp you could easily stab your damn eye out. It's like if someone's going to recreate that, or the Megatron is just a perfect example. It turns into a damn pistol. It's like there's a silver pistol at that.
Right.
There's no damn way any U.S. market is going to put that out right now, because if some kid's running around with that in the street, he's going to get shot.
You know what I find interesting about that is, while they won't make a Transformer gun, right? They're an aisle over. You can go and buy all the damn, what do you call those? The Nerf guns.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So what they were doing, even back in the 80s when they were making Transformers, they were making Tron as a gun. You had to put an orange tip to make it be, I could tell it's a toy.
Sure.
So that can be done today, but they don't for whatever reason. And so to me, it's I don't know why, but that's okay because.
And see, we're going to kind of go into that too later into the episode. We're going to kind of dive into that head first.
It makes me think too, just a little bit about how many toys they come out directly to. They don't even go to Target. Adult is going to buy it. You know what I mean? An adult can buy it. You can go buy an air pistol at Walmart. It's like, but if he only goes to collectible shops for collectors, I mean, it's like, because I would really want that Megatron that is the gun.
With the gun.
Yeah. That's
not a tank.
Yeah. Whatever the fuck he is now.
And you can see those on ToyDojo.com's YouTube channel.
There you go. Now, Jack, do you do all the reviews?
I do. For Toy Dojo, I do all the reviews.
Okay, so it's only you that we're hearing on there. Okay. And you don't see Jack. It's really him working with the toy and all that.
The hand model.
That's right. I'm a hand model.
The hand model, right? With all his gold rings. You get some gold rings in there.
I got a white gold ring now, which I never had before.
There you go. Congrats on that. Let's see. Aaron asks, do Transformers bang? Well, Jack would be the expert on that. So there is a Drunken
Drunken
Productionz
I was going to
video.
say, Aaron, so I have you saved, Aaron, on TikTok. I'll send you a message on one where they do bang from our Drunken Productionz channel. So yes, they do bang.
If they didn't bang, you've heard it here first. Jack on Drunken Productionz is going to have them bang, so you can go see that.
Right.
So, man, there's a promo for the show if you ever wanted one.
I like.
Let's in the house. Highlight, guys. Are we still freezing? Is it like a continual thing, or are we good now? Amy's in the house. What's up, sis? Joe says Megatron bangs, at least. That's a very good one, Joe. And he says Shockwave bumps.
Yeah. Shockwave's my favorite, actually, out of all of them, because I don't know. I feel like he just never got the love he needed,
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
He was bad.
Soundwave, man.
Soundwave.
Yeah. Well, he said Shockwave.
Oh, Shockwave.
Yeah. So remember the purple. So
he's number 2. He's Megatron's number 2.
Yeah, because he actually was. I mean, we're kind of jumping ahead, but he stayed on Cybertron. Megatron trusted him to keep Cybertron safe. So Shockwave is my favorite. Yeah.
Well, guys, I mean, we're 22 minutes in. There's no need to hold back any longer. Guys, if you did not gather what the episode is going to be about, it's not going to be focused on toys, although that will come into the conversation. It's all about cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoons, man. The after-school cartoons.
Now, it would have been easy for us to say we're going to do a show all about 80s toys or our favorite toys as kids, and we bring in Jack, and we could just do it just about Transformers, and Jack could talk for a whole 2 hours about that. And
show you 2 hours worth of toys.
Yeah. You can go to his page and see that there. So I said we want to get something maybe we could all discuss a little bit more, because I know you really not that versed on level, especially not anymore. But we said we still wanted to talk about the 80s and our love for
the cartoons of the 80s were so great. You learned about the bad guys and the good. Looking for a fucking apple. You weren't looking for a bag on somebody's sleeve. You weren't learning how to speak Japanese. You weren't learning how to speak Spanish. You weren't learning how to love people. Okay, you're seeing Transformers try to stop the Decepticons. You're trying to see the G.I. Joe stop terrorists. You're trying to see the Masters of the Universe stop Skeletor. You're trying to see Robotech fighters fight against giants. You're trying to see Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles go up against the Foot Clan.
Yep.
That's what you're learning about.
Totally, man.
And unfortunately, that shit today wouldn't fly. Like they would not put those today at all.
No.
I mean, that's the topic for another day, but that's horrible that you can't put those same toys for kids today.
But guys, so much fun. You had cool characters that's still being talked about. Great villains, that you still laugh about. I mean, I buy all this wall art, it's from the 80s. It's from a long time ago, 30, 40 years ago. And, it's just, they're so colorful. They're so fun to watch. And more people get into it.
Totally.
So that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about how great these cartoons were at one time.
Our huge love for the cartoons of the 80s. So you've got, in a sense, like not different generations, because me and Kat were born in the 80s, Jack just slightly before. It's like,
79,
but so we're right there. We're like, all in the same, roughly age group where we grew up watching 80s cartoons. So, what better thing we thought than to talk about that kind of, and again, you're inevitably going to get overlap with the toys, because we're going to talk about that.
It was a big part of it.
Yeah,
it was
part of it. And how they're intertwined, you know what I mean? So we're definitely going to get into all that. But we really want to talk about our favorites, why they're our favorites, what they meant to us. And in the meantime, while we're talking about that, we want you guys to come in and tell us your favorites.
Were you guys She-Ra fans? Were you guys Smurfs fans?
Right. It's 3 guys here. So ladies out there, there's definitely going to not be that much knowledge on the girl cartoons.
Were you guys Care Bears fans?
Feel free to comment in. Yeah.
Inspector Gadget fans,
I watched quite a bit of Inspector Gadget.
Claw was pretty scary, man.
Yeah, he was.
Claw was pretty fucking scary.
And Jack says he liked the Care Bears. So
Care Bears, Smurf. I mean, yeah. Whatever came on in the 80s.
Hey, man, is Smurf, you're trying to run away from a fucking wizard that's trying to eat you? I mean, how scary is that?
Okay, and you know what? I mean, hey, not for nothing, but can we all agree that maybe he was a bit of a pedo?
Maybe. There was something to
right, there was something.
Just hungry. I think
he was
wizard.
too, yeah, but
we'll talk about Gargamel.
Yeah,
Gargamel,
but I'm like,
he rocked the classic pedo haircut.
Yeah, he did. The horseshoe, right? And then he's just wearing a fucking
muumuu.
Like a muumuu, that's it. I doubt he had fucking underwear on underneath that.
He was a poor wizard.
But he's a wizard. He can fucking come up with new clothing, can
he makes more fit, so I don't know why he couldn't do
that.
that.
That's true.
It wasn't even like a pedo, like a nice haircut. This was all wild.
Yeah.
It's like the pedo that just got out of bed.
And that's for a wizard. I'm like, you can grow some fucking hair?
Him and Azrael were showering every day.
Now, have you guys heard that those were supposedly like demonic names, just like that? Azrael and Gargamel.
Okay.
Like,
well, I mean, Azrael, I can see that as being demonic.
Yeah,
Azrael.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Gargamel, I didn't know, but Azrael, I can see that being demonic.
I read that, heard that somewhere. Someone will correct me. Let's read a few more comments here, guys. Before we get, we're getting close to our first break already. That's how fast it goes here. So let's see here. We got Amy in the house. Amy says, hi, Jack-o'-lantern.
Hey!
And she says, Catsy. Let gives us a little heart. Jeremy says, let's see, what is it? Oh, shit.
What did I come back to?
Exactly. Yeah, you probably did the banging Transformers. Yeah, that might have been what it was, Jeremy. So go check that out also. Aaron says they had a pedophile Smurf. No, Gargamel was the pedophile is what we think. Nene in the house. Nene says, y'all remember Channel 99 when it was the porn channel? It was always blurry, but you watched it. Of course we remember that, Nene.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, you didn't shout me out on your YouTube earlier, Facebook Live earlier, and you were singing, and I called you out on that. So you need to shout me out on your show. But guys, go check Nene on TikTok. Funny Nene. 500,000 followers. Jess in the house. What up, Jess?
What's up, Jess?
Jess.
Aaron says, "Man, fuck the Care Bears." Okay.
I
mean,
that's your opinion.
You can if you want to, but that's
not a fan of the
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And Roxanne says the real Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Yeah. And we will get into that, Roxanne.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say because Smurfs are funny. That's the one thing I loved about the Smurfs, right? Like
it's so Smurfy.
It's you can. That was their word. That was
Smurfy.
Yeah,
Smurferific.
No, but Smurfing. I honestly think that was their way of saying like fucking like Smurf off, right? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was their word of fuck you or fuck.
I'm a huge fan of the movie The Fantastic Mr. Fox. You ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
And they say cuss.
Yeah.
What the cuss? You cussing at me?
Yeah.
No, I'm cussing. I'm not cussing at you. It's the same thing.
Yes.
So I love that. Steve says I'm more of HR Puffin stuff. Now that one I didn't see. Was that 80s? I'm not sure. I've seen it. I know of it, but I never saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy, he looks kind of psychedelic. He kind of looks like he's got like a mushroom type
Steve,
head.
enlighten us, please.
Yeah, Steve, please share more. Let's see here. We got a few more comments, and then we're going to go to break, guys. Then we're going to get hardcore into the episode. Let me read these out real quick.
Roxanne says Scooby-Doo, Strawberry Shortcakes.
Now Scooby-Doo would be the 60s.
Thundercats, Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, totally. We're going to try to touch a little bit on each one.
There was a version of Scooby-Doo that came out.
Well, I think
again, we're not that versed.
I don't know how long Scooby-Doo actually ran.
Yeah, I would kind of put him in that class though, from the 60s.
Yeah, because it was they started. I want to say like early 60s. Scooby-Doo came out.
Joe says get Smurfed. That totally. And Aaron says is Smurf jizz blue? It has to be.
It has to
well,
be.
that's not true because human jizz isn't whatever color we are. It's
that's true. Sir.
That is true.
Yeah, there's been a lot of sex topics.
That's wow.
Karina's in the house.
Karina!
Super Friends. Was Super Friends 80s?
I
thought it was 70s.
You know what? I didn't have it on
thought
my
it was
list.
70s.
I think it might have been
same.
70s. Yeah, this is actually hard to read in this light, but yeah. So Joe says that. Jeremy says Scooby-Doo was the shit when I was little. See, Scooby-Doo is long
I
lasting.
hated Scrappy. Like, I hated that little bastard. Scrappy-Doo? I fucking couldn't stand him. Yeah. Man, I hated that little bastard.
Awesome, man. You know what? Just for you, Nene, it's freaking Nene. So yeah, man, totally. Guys, we're about to go to break, and we'll be right back after that loads up. Guys, again, that's only for the audio listeners. If you're with us on the Facebook,
keep put up your comments. Tell us what your favorite 80s cartoon is. Tell us who your favorite villain is. Tell us who your favorite hero is. Tell us what group would you be in. Would you be in the Joes? Would you be in the Masters? Would you be a Decepticon? Would you be a Thundercat? You know, would you be a Turtle? Would you be a Foot Clan member?
Or did all of those suck? And you like Steve say you like HR Puff and stuff. I didn't see that one.
Maybe you would just want to be a Care Bear and care about things.
Yeah,
sure, yeah. Why not? Right,
guys. I went to Ranker, and if y'all know that website, Ranker.
Guys, do you want to go to Old West Brave Star?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be a deputy or a Brave Star?
I meant to bring it, but I forgot to bring it. But I actually have the box of the Silverhawks.
Silverhawks.
Nice.
I loved the opening music. I loved, so much about that. We'll talk about
my older brother always mentions Mask.
Yeah, Mask.
Always mentions that one. So
interesting one.
So. Voltron. I mean,
Voltron.
That's another one. Yeah,
oh man,
sure.
the Defender of the Universe.
Right. Yeah.
The original, smaller robots forming into a larger
song
robot.
Probably gives me the most goosebumps out of all the songs.
Yeah.
Voltron song.
Interesting. Actually, what about the great songs?
Yeah, the great theme
songs. Yeah, I mean,
I would say there were some in the 90s, like with the X-Men one and the Batman one, but that might have been the end of great opening theme songs for cartoons.
I agree with that.
Guys, let us know what you like and be part of our conversation.
So let's see a few more comments here before, guys, we get back right into the conversation while the audio processes. Let's see. Joe says, "Oh, sorry, I think I'm a little bit back."
No, you're right there.
You're right there.
Yeah, right there.
Aaron says, "I like Thundercats." Joe says, Joe, I imagine you being a G.I. Joe fan with the name Joe.
Slaughter.
Yeah.
Jeremy says the Foot Clan seems legit, but at the same time, I don't want to die to some turtles. That's a very good point.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Or if you were just a Foot Clan guy, you were regularly getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, but you know what? They had to be black belts.
That's
I would assume
for sure.
they would be black belts.
Because I mean, obviously, Splinter was a black belt, so he would have trained them to be black belts.
Right. In addition, you're adding fighting skills. I think as you go.
Correct. Right.
This one's funny. You see him, Scooby-Doo loved Velma and wanted to be Velma. All right, Jess. I didn't know that.
I mean, that's interesting.
All right, him as
that is a good one.
His face
wow,
is
yeah.
oh.
And she also agreed that Scrappy sucked. So we have that.
I'm glad you said that, because he did suck ass.
No Scrappy fans. I didn't hate him that much. It just didn't bother me.
He was an annoying little shit.
He was a villain in the first movie, though.
That's right. He was in the first actual live action movie. He was. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you're just joining us on the audio, we are back. Sorry that I ran into the break there. I was in the middle of talking, and then we talked about stuff on the break, and we read comments. But guys, now we're going to get right into the conversation, all about 80s cartoons that we love.
Yeah.
Now, guys, what do you guys think we should start? Should we start with the bigs, or should we end with the bigs? I mean, there's some obvious front runners out there. We earlier said, is it a big 4? Is it a big 5? I think that it could be definitely a big 5. And if you were going to talk about the big 5, it would definitely be He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Masters is the one that kind of broke the Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, because of when I think about that, I think about He-Man, right? I think about that iconic.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was like
right
great animation. Yeah. It was. I mean, that was like, wow. When you saw that, it was like, yeah. So that was amazing. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So
and then it'd be Transformers,
definitely
obviously.
Transformers,
Thundercats,
and G.I. Joe. And we debated about this one because we said it's really, I would say, big 4 of the 80s, but it did come out, it did premiere in, I believe, 87.
87, yeah.
It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I always think of it more as a 90s cartoon.
I know you do, but golly, it became this big old phenomenon.
Yeah.
Maybe,
that's 3 years.
Maybe bigger than all the other ones. Turtles seems to have survived more so than maybe Transformers. I say Transformers is probably the biggest one, but
yes,
Turtles is probably the other longest lasting.
Well, I have it here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about like the many multiple reboots that you experience. It's almost like a badge of honor. How many times these things have been rebooted? Yes. But let me read you guys what Ranker said. So Ranker's number one, oddly enough, Thundercats from 1985.
Wow. I never would have thought that.
Wow. That's what they ranked number one. Number two, Transformers, which debuted in 1984. Then it went to number three, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1987. Wow. And then they have at number four, which was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That's what they had at number four. And then their number five was, I think it's a girls one. I have it over here somewhere. I don't know, but that's who they had at number five. It was different than when
I don't know. Who cares?
Well, the reason why I bring that up is because listen to this. They put G.I. Joe at 9. Wow, 1983.
Whoa, wow.
G.I. Joe at 9. That's a little bit low.
That's really low.
Because that was our top 5.
But because, well, you know, and I don't know what this is. If they were trying to mix it up, they put a girls cartoon in there at the top.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but G.I. Joe dominated the 80s.
Yes.
I mean, guys, sometimes I think about it kind of like in a wrestling mind, and I think about it like who was moving that merch.
Yeah.
Because what was flying off when we would go into Toys R Us, guys, and it was the old school style, just rows and rows of toys.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like there were sections you hit. You hit the Transformers section, you hit the He-Man section, you hit the G.I. Joe section. If they didn't have what you were looking for in one of them, you were getting the other one. Yeah. Right. Thundercats, that big ass toy that was badass. I mean, like when I was on base with my dad at the PX in California, it was like I was trying to weasel out 3 Joes if I could. Usually it was only 2, but it was like, okay, if it was a Transformer, it was 1 Transformer. Ooh. And I can't even really remember the prices back then. But
they were metal too, right?
Yeah.
Those first ones were fucking metal.
A lot of them were die-cast metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last one I got was that Optimus Prime Jackal Notes I'm talking about, where like he had the mini body inside the bigger body.
Yeah.
And so you could hook on the rig.
Prime.
Yeah. That's one of the last ones that I got. That one was plastic, but it was badass. And I knew my dad was kind of like, that's all you're getting for a while.
Okay, so let me throw this out. So what cartoon for you is your favorite that you still watch to this day? Which one is yours?
So that's the tough question that I'll still watch to this day. Because I went back to do a rewatch on some Masters of the Universe not that long ago.
It's kind of hard, right?
It was kind of hard to watch. But as a kid, hands down, I can remember the first thing I wanted to be when I grew up was He-Man. I wanted to be He-Man when I grew up.
He's the strongest man in the universe.
Yeah, and the title's so cool. Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. And not only that, but I mean, He-Man. Yeah. Right? Like,
what a fucking cool name.
What a cool fucking name. Like, he's a man. He the fucking man.
It entered pop culture. When you're super strong, when you're super buff, like, people tend to call you
He-Man right here, right? Yeah, for sure, totally. So as a kid, easy to say that, He-Man. Okay. But what I did go back and watch a little bit in preparation of this show was some G.I. Joe. I was like, let me look at some old Joes. Okay. I felt like they still held up. Cobra Commander, you can kind of appreciate the bad guys more. They're more weaselly. You know, things like that. I feel like Transformers stands up really well, too.
Transformers holds up really well.
Prime is so Prime. I mean, Prime is the fucking man.
But the villains, they get up on him pretty good on that one.
I feel like as a kid, a lot of them were more towards the good guys, and then as you're an adult, you're like, no, I'm a bad guy. You know, like I am, because you can sympathize with them more. You know, and the thing I loved about like the '80s cartoons, when you look at each one, you look at that and they're teaching you a lesson, right? Especially G.I. Joe, because G.I. Joe always ended with whatever, right? And then knowing is half the battle, right? So that was always educational right there for them. So. But yeah, you can always, as a child, again, good guys, but as an adult, you're like, I know why these guys were going after them, because man, these guys were dicks. Yeah, you know.
So let's take that question and turn it on you, Jack. Well, is there? I like it the way the AA put it. Is there one that you watch and still go back to? I think we know your answer, but you know, I mean, go ahead.
There's 2 that I go back and watch religiously. I mean, one, Transformers, yes. I mean, I'm not even gonna put that one in there, because for me, that one I watch all the time, because I'm just I'm a big Transformer fan, right? So I won't put that one, but that would be my number 1 if I would. So my second number 1 was to be Thundercats. Okay. And then Ninja Turtles. So those are my 2 top that I can watch over and over and not get tired of watching at all.
Totally. Yeah. Mine is Thundercats.
That's number 1.
Yeah. I love the characters. Yes. I love Third Earth. I love the mutants. I love Mumra. Great villain awesome. Mummy.
Yes.
You know, that's a wizard. Yes. I love that whole eeriness, music. You know, I just love those episodes. Yeah. I love that they're cat people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool too. You know? I love his claw. I love the Sword of Omens.
Yes.
I love it when he calls on the Thundercats. How many kids were you guys one of them that whenever he would say, Thundercats.
Yeah.
Oh, and you looked up.
Yeah, and you
Just for the
see
fuck of
that
it, yeah.
fucking thing, and
Like, I mean, you looked up at your home in your living room
Yeah.
just to look up, hoping your eyes would glow too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
yes,
And-
exactly.
Real cool story. One of the first conventions I ever went to meet Sergeant Slaughter, me and
Yeah,
Jack
I
here
remember
and our cousin Tony, we went and we got to hear the voice of Lionel.
Yes,
He was
Oh,
there,
wow.
and he actually said it. He actually
Yes.
said the line to him, Thundercats. I actually heard it live
Yes,
on the system.
On
Pretty damn
loudspeaker.
cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, it
I
was
wanted to race towards him.
Yeah,
You know, I
saw-
wanted to pounce. You know, and go to him.
yeah. I saw his eyes glow.
Yeah,
right there. I was
yeah.
like, man, he's actually a Thundercat now.
Double A became full cat
Yeah,
in that.
right,
in
yeah.
that
That's
moment.
good. Jack actually got to meet him.
Mhm.
Oh, what's that gentleman's name there, Jack?
Gosh.
I forget his name,
We'll
but
pick up
he
the spot,
met
yeah.
him, and he got a camera of him. He got footage of him, and it was.
Yeah, and I
really
got two
cool.
autographs from him.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I didn't. So the line was long, and so I was like, "I'll come back, right?" And then I happened to see him just walking down the
Yeah.
aisle,
Oh, shit.
and I said, "Hey, can you?" He's like, "Yeah." So I didn't even have to pay for
Real
the
cool
autograph.
guy.
Oh, badass.
Yeah, he's just
Real
like, "Yeah."
cool
He's like,
guy.
"Give me them." So I got 3
Yeah.
autographs. Like, man, that's great.
But
Really
Thundercat for
badass,
me,
yeah.
I love the first episode. I recently rewatched that first episode, TM. Where they're leaving the planet because
Yes.
the planet is blowing up.
Mhm.
And Lionel gets older, and they land
Yeah,
on
because
the
he's a
planet.
kid
Yeah.
right there,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
and
I
they were
love
all
the
naked for
Thundercats.
some reason.
Mhm.
Where can you?
And Jaga said that they needed clothes
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
reached this new planet.
Correct,
So
right.
he gave them clothes.
Yeah, that's right.
So are they on Earth?
Third Earth is
Yeah,
what's
there's
there.
third
Yeah.
Earth, but I
It's
mean,
third Earth.
Earth is the third planet from the sun.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
sure.
it could be.
I don't know.
You don't know if it's a
And then
semi-future or
Right.
Mother is like an Egyptian
Yeah.
kind
That's
of
true.
mummy,
Right.
You know,
because
So-
he's not an animal like the other villains.
No.
are
No,
animals.
No,
So
he's
that's
a mummy.
He's
Yeah.
a mummy. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
So-
interesting. So we're a big fan on this show, Jack, of saying, you're only as good as your best villain, right? And
Yep.
that's what these 80s cartoons did so damn well,
Yes.
is that
Yeah.
He-Man had Skeletor.
Yep.
Great fucking villain.
a fucking floating skull head. How is
And
that possible?
how about Jacked, too? Just as
Yeah,
Jacked
yeah.
as He-Man. you
Yeah.
know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah. I mean, that guy was fucking ripped.
You know, I don't even remember if did they ever throw down hand to hand? Like that had to have happened
Well,
a couple of
If
times.
it's gonna be
right?
hand to hand, sorry.
Yeah, He-Man's gonna kick his
Well, right,
ass.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The strongest man of the universe. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of just a sword in general. So Lionel and He-Man appealed to me.
Swords.
You know, my favorite
Yeah,
Ninja Turtle is
sword of
Leonardo,
power.
but I like
Yeah.
swords, period, as
Right.
a weapon. So that's always really rad to me. But going back into that, the villains, you've got Optimus Prime and you've got Megatron.
Mhm.
It's like, damn, I mean, like it's
Yeah.
like these guys, the bad guys are, you love to hate them. Like they're lovable bad guys. Like you said, you're like, shit, Megatron's like pretty badass. And back in the 80s, transforming into a damn gun, jumping into Soundwave's
or
hand,
Starscream.
Or
and,
Starscream.
and just getting fired off. It's like,
Right.
damn, he's literally, I myself am shooting at my opponent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And he just was, I gotta say, for me, Transformers, some of the icing on the cake is that 80s movie,
Yeah.
the animated movie,
Ooh,
which is,
brutal movie.
and if you were to ask me,
brutal
the
movie.
best
very.
Transformers movie ever made of
Yeah.
all the Transformers
Yes,
movies. And I was like, I mean, my heart fucking ripped out.
Like the first 15 minutes?
Yeah.
He kills most of the
Yeah, he
whole
kills.
crew
Yeah,
that
he
you
kills
love.
pretty much all your
Yeah.
original classics are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But how
Iron
about that
Man.
fight though? They're fucking like,
Oh yeah,
There's-
Prime and Megatron
yeah,
fight is
and he was
fucking
fucking
insane.
him up. I mean,
Yes.
that's like a great fight, like a
It
great
is.
movie fight.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I mean?
is for sure.
And then you get, Unicron, the introduction of that.
They're
and,
Galactus almost
Yeah.
in a way.
Mhm.
This big planet
Yeah.
size like Transformer.
So now, Jack, do you remember? Did you see that in theater? Did that come out in theater? Like, what was
Yeah,
your
it was in
memories
theater.
of seeing
Oh,
that
yeah,
in theater?
I remember the first thing, and your brother can attest to this too. We remember hearing shit, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
Right,
Like
that's
that
right.
shit on the
Yeah.
big screen. Like, who the hell says that?
That's
Of course,
totally,
shit
I
back then
remember
was
that.
like, what the fuck? Yeah. So
How
yeah, but
about-
no, I remember seeing it in theater, and it was fucking insane.
You got the touch.
Yeah.
You got the power.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta go high voice, cat.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got the power.
Great movie.
If any of
man.
you guys seen Boogie Nights, that part where he's singing that song makes me laugh hard.
Yeah.
that movie is fantastic. But the episodes also too were just great. Like I said, for me, sometimes there were so many characters I couldn't keep up, and I don't
The
remember,
Transformers is really hard to
Mhm.
keep up. Season 2, they introduced like a
A shit ton.
shitload
Yeah.
of Transformers that I just lost count of. I was like, okay, I don't remember anymore. I just remember Optimus's main crew.
Right.
I don't remember all these other
all the
fucking,
extras, right?
Autobots.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
And you know what? So a couple of things, right? So one, we go back to Megatron a little bit, and you said how great he, gun and this and that, but I'm like, if I think about like one Transformer, right, that is worthless as fuck in his alt form, that's Megatron, because he needs someone to fucking shoot him, right? So he turns into a gun, he lays there, he has to be picked up to get shot, right?
Yeah, I can imagine that you transform when you're fighting one-on-one, no one's around,
right?
You're like, well, fuck, I'm fucked here, you know what I mean?
Soundwave, the same thing. I turned into a fucking radio cassette, right? A fucking Walkman.
Right.
Okay, great. Now, as a spy, great, but in a combat, I got to be a robot. I can't fight as a
but he's not a combat.
Right? Yeah, no, he's not.
Right.
He's a spy. Right.
Yeah, and that's kind of neat too. They had different assignments. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
And see, that's the thing. Like the comic books kind of fleshes out more, where they weren't always like bad. Megatron organized this group. He was kind of like a revolutionary that kind of, saying that Cybertron has gone weak. I can be the leader, almost like a Hitler. And he starts grabbing all these Decepticons. Like Starscream's like a scientist.
Yeah, he was a scientist.
Originally.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, so, and Soundwave is just like you said, like he's a radio, but he becomes a valuable spy to Megatron. So I mean, yeah.
And Megatron actually was a gladiator back on Cybertron. That's where he learned all of his battle skills. He was an actual gladiator.
Okay.
A gladiator, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
right on. No, that makes fucking awesome sense. See, I need to get more into that shit. Now, is that did they flesh that out in the cartoon
or in the comics?
In the comics, yeah, that's from the comics, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's kind of part of what.
So it all connects. It connects from like the cartoons to the comics to the toys. It all connects, so you can kind of know the stories more and more. With like every He-Man toy, you got a comic book.
Yes.
That can kind of flesh out who Skeletor was, who
his character was. Yeah.
Who the Wizard was, and all that.
And so
Go ahead, Jack.
I was going to say the one big thing. So when we're talking about 80s cartoons in general, and we kind of discussed this before we came on air, but the only reason why we really had 80s cartoons and 90s cartoons is because they were trying to sell toys. That was the bottom line.
Right. Yep.
I'm selling toys, so I got this toy. So in order for me to be able to sell this, I got to make a comic book or I got to make a cartoon. And that's the reason why we had these, right? Because they wanted to sell toys. Because cartoons, they're going to sell, but they're not going to sell. They're not going to make you money as like toys will. So that was the actual.
Guys, have you ever seen Toys That Made Us on Netflix?
Yes.
We're all three huge fans.
Great show, especially on Masters, G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
They'll tell you.
They touch on everyone we've talked about.
They'll connect every dot. Yeah. He'll connect every dot that you have questions about. Yep. So it's a pretty damn cool.
Toys That Made Us.
It was smart. It was smart advertising. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get kids hooked on the cartoons. You want to make them buy Castle Grayskull because I mean, how fucking cool is that? Castle Grayskull.
No shit,
Man,
it was rare that I had.
Mountain,
it was rare that I had a play set.
No,
but I had
you
those
wanted
playsets.
those.
These guys had the fucking play sets.
You wanted them, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, man. Thundercats layer. It was like, Lee Voltron even had a castle.
Yeah.
The ones I can remember owning were that. You guys seen this new thing that's going to come out? I'm sorry, this might be a little bit off topic, but they're re-releasing the Thundercats car.
Yes, I saw that. It's a third party. It's a third party company that's releasing. It's going to be a huge one. It's going to be like more than 2 feet long.
Tell us that price, Jackie boy.
I want to say it's like $6+.
Oh, I saw $450, and I still was like, holy shit!
I'm gonna get one. I'm getting one because
this guy.
I want to watch that. You gotta do a video on that.
I'll do a video.
Jack here is getting a pretty big size Unicron coming in. It's fucking huge.
Like this Unicron is gonna be probably like planet size. It's gonna probably be about this wide.
That's fucking huge.
And then just round, right? It's gonna be a fucking huge planet, and then the robot mode itself is going to be about 27, 28 inches tall.
Okay.
So, a little bit, well, actually, almost 3 feet tall.
You already have a video on that, or you're going to do
No. So it's supposed to be getting shipped, I think, because I got it through a Hasbro Pulse, which Hasbro Pulse, you have to actually be a backer.
Yeah, that's where I got this guy.
Okay, right. So for this figure, you have to be a backer for it. So they need to have X amount of backers in order to make the figure. So they need, I think, 8,000 backers. They got 10,000 plus. So anyways, that's supposed to be shipping towards the end of, I believe, March. Okay. So when that comes out, definitely I'm making a review on that because that thing's gonna be fucking massive.
Yeah. So it's like almost like a Kickstarter.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually through Hasbro.
Correct.
Wow, that's I didn't know they did that. That one wasn't like that. It was just a regular order through them. But I'd never ordered through Hasbro Pulse before.
Pulse before, right?
So very cool. Very cool.
Okay, Sam. So let me ask you. You too, Jack. what team would you guys want to be on?
That's a good question.
And you know, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You guys can be Cobra, Masters, Joes, Thundercats, Robotech, Turtles, Foot Clan. What group would you want to be associated with?
Man, that is a really tough question. I have to think about that.
I know me for right now. So if I'm starting off Transformers, I'm a con, big time. I'm a Decepticon.
Okay.
Okay. If I go with Thundercats, I'm with Thundercats, just because they're fucking badass.
What cat would you be?
I would be Panthro. Yeah, I'd be Panthro.
Nice.
Right. Yeah, because I mean he's a fucking badass.
I love the nunchucks.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Cool.
And he's an engineer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And he usually drove that battle.
Yeah,
The battle tank.
Battle tank. Yeah.
He built it.
He built it himself. Yeah.
He's like, I'm driving.
Yeah, I'm driving. I built it. I fucking drive it. Right.
Totally.
Turtles, I'd be a Ninja Turtle.
Okay.
Just because, again,
No
they have so much fun.
No working on the shredder.
No, because I mean, think about it, right? So if we're gonna jump onto that, right? Think about let's think about like the Turtles, right?
Mhm.
And then we think about like Shredder and his group.
Yeah.
The Turtles, I mean, while they were fucking, they were teenagers, obviously, so they're gonna be kind of goofy and they're gonna be whatever, right?
Eating a lot of pizza.
Right.
but
Shredder and his group, they were just bumbling fucking idiots. Think about Rocksteady and Bebop, like they were just
Rocksteady and
fucking
Bebop.
idiots.
I love those.
So I'm like,
guys.
I don't want to be associated with being a dumbass,
I know.
right?
And we got to get into that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did love Shredder though.
Yeah, Shredder was badass.
So for me, I guess if I thought about it, if I was going to be
Phil too.
Uncle
man.
Phil, yes.
Yeah,
Uncle
Phil
Phil.
was
James Avery.
If anybody didn't know that, James Avery, Uncle Phil. From the
I
first
was
Prince of
surprised.
Yeah.
I was like,
the voice of the
holy
Shredder.
shit.
Was Shredder.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess if you were to ask me again, I would probably say I would be in the Masters of the Universe
What
and,
a cool-
and
I mean,
be
just what a
rolling
cool
with
name.
He-Man and those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wouldn't you always
know?
feel safe with He-Man?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
right.
mean,
It's like rolling
well,
with Superman. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you know.
Unless he's Prince Adam, then I'm like, I'll stay away from you, right?
Well-
but if he's He-Man, yeah, definitely.
You know, it's so funny because on this show we've talked about our favorite superheroes, right, Jack? And mine is Superman. Double A loves Wolverine. But now I'm seeing a lot of we're talking about 80s cartoons, the parallels between Prince Adam, a bumbling idiot like Clark Kent,
Right.
and then you've got obviously the complete opposite attitude in He-Man, who's
Right.
this brave badass. So far that even you've got Cringer, you know what I mean? Battle Cat, who's also
Pussycat,
like a
too.
pussy cat.
He's a pussy
Yeah.
cat, right?
So, guys, how about that too? Kind of going a little bit back to talking about the villains. Wait, before we get there, I need to hear your team.
My team, it's Robotech.
Oh, you're see,
Okay.
that's
Earth's
an
Defense
awesome
Forces.
That's an
Yeah.
awesome pull. Japanese cartoon.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. But man, if you guys have never seen Robotech, it's really fucking cool. They're going up against these race of giants, like literal giants.
Right.
And man, it's just a really cool, really realistic cartoon, military cartoon. It's really fucking cool. So check out Robotech.
I remember you and your brother Friday Night or Will were like hardcore into it or whatever. I would catch a little bit here and there, but I wasn't. It felt like one of those cartoons like you had to watch it because like you couldn't just like catch an episode because you need to know what's going
Yeah,
on.
you needed to know what's going
It's
on.
a really good cartoon.
Yeah. For sure. So that's very cool, very cool. But what I was trying to get back to was about the villains. Like a lot of times now, I can't even name any other villain other than the primary villain. But here, it's like we know so many of the ones underneath.
I was going to say
too.
Who is this guy's favorite henchman?
That's
And
a good question.
you got so many henchmen in
Yeah.
this group. You
Mhm.
know, you got Skeletor's. I would say maybe Evil Lynn's like really.
She was a
advanced.
badass.
Yeah,
she
she
was
was.
a total badass.
You know, I mean, yeah, you have Beastman, you have Trapjaw, you have Merman.
Merman,
Mhm.
yeah. But again,
Yeah.
those are your bumbling idiots that
Yeah.
are just like,
Right.
Evil Lynn was like his whoa.
she was smart.
Yeah,
you
better watch out for
Like,
her.
yeah, because if you needed to actually depend on one of those, you're going to depend on her
Yeah.
more than you can depend
So
on the
you
other
got
ones.
like Evil Lynn, you got like Destro, you got
Yes.
Starscream Soundwave,
Right.
You got Sly and the Mutants from
Yes.
Thundercats.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
what henchman would you be afraid of? Would you be afraid of Bebop and Rocksteady? I mean, for fuck's sakes, you're a big
Yeah.
pig and a big rhino.
Think about
I
that,
mean,
right? In real life,
Yeah,
a fucking
that's pretty
pig man and a
fucking
rhino
scary.
man. Yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
I ain't
yeah.
fucking with you.
I
right?
always tell Double A, I said, imagine any of this stuff we talk about. If it burst through that door right now,
Yeah, bro.
you would be like, oh, fuck.
I'm out the fucking window.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
totally,
Yeah.
man. Totally. And imagine how they probably smelled. Like,
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know they didn't shower.
No, but who scared me the most that I think that were scary, that were good henchmen, is the ones that were like these guys that were right there vying for power next. You talked about Destro.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
always right, nipping at
yes.
Cobra Commander's heels. He wanted to be the
Yeah,
boss.
Him and
Right.
Starscream.
Starscream,
too,
the
yeah.
next guy. He was always there trying to. That's the
Oh.
kind of guy that you're like,
And the
They're
thing with
cunning.
Starscream too,
They could lead.
yeah, because the thing with Starscream is not only was he vying for power, but he was constantly trying to fucking kill Megatron. Every fucking chance he got.
Why did you keep him around?
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
Yeah, and I guess because Megatron's like, you can't hurt me, so you're okay. That's fine. I'll accept your bullshit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like Destro too. Like Destro like ran enough shit that Cobra Commander had to keep him around where it was like, well, you're kind of doing all this other legwork
right.
that I ain't
Like,
gonna do.
Destro's was like his arms dealer.
Yeah,
Right.
it was true.
Yeah.
That's true,
So,
Double A.
But he
Cobra
shat on
Commander-
Cobra Commander every
I know he
chance he
did.
got.
Yeah,
it
I
was
know
like,
he did.
yeah, man.
I know.
See, like I never got the vibe from Evil Lynn that she was trying to overthrow Scott.
No,
he
not at
sat
all.
alone
Not at all.
atop that mountain.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mumra too. There was no second. There was
No. Yeah. on that
Jackal
one for
and
sure.
fucking
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, Sly.
Ultraman.
Ultraman, yeah, all
they
the
were
Jackal
they
Man.
weren't getting
No.
close.
I can say
to
to your
Mumra.
point, that probably is one of the few. And Turtles the same because I can't think of like that's one of the few cartoons
Now,
maybe that
on
they didn't
Turtles-
try to actually
Turtles,
overthrow.
would you like? I say Bebop and Rocksteady, but would
Yeah.
you guys say Shredder's answer
No,
under Crane?
No, because
Because they always seem to position Crane
I do feel that way.
as the leader.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Me
but
neither.
I think it was just
and
because
Shredder
he
was like his general.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think but when you think about Crane, he was just the brains behind the operation, and
Yeah.
I mean yes, so Shredder was kind of the muscle, but I think Crane didn't really orchestrate a lot of the stuff. It was Shredder that was trying to orchestrate it and get everything going.
So
Because remember,
Bebop and
Crane came from
Rocksteady.
Dimension X.
Yeah, so Bebop and Rocksteady, it's straight
Right.
up henchmen,
I think
right?
they're the henchmen, correct?
So let me ask you guys this: what I don't remember, but what was Krang's end game? Like everyone
Just
wants
take over
something
Earth, right?
to take over. To take
Well,
over
he
Earth.
wanted to. I know he wanted to. Yeah, he wanted to get stronger because he wanted to get back to Dimension X
That's right. That's
in
right.
order to overtake that. Because remember, he's from Dimension X, so he wanted to overthrow that dimension. So, but he needed to get stronger here and He wanted to overthrow this so he could have more power to get back to Dimension X and kind of
So
overtake
he was
that.
just kind of using Shredder and the Foot Clan as
If
like
you-
a
yeah.
means to an end.
right.
Okay, so I can see that. So, I feel like kind of like you said, Double A. Excuse me, Shredder was kind of like a general, but I felt like he was the primary villain because
Yeah,
he
of
had
course
he
he
had a
Of
personal
course he was.
connection to Splinter,
Correct.
and there was that like it was like to him it was more like and that story was neater to me, like the Japan story
Right.
and all that. So I just felt like that was more in sync and. I thought the Krang that he was inside that big body looked dumb. I was like, what the fuck is
It
that?
did look
That's
dumb.
stupid.
Yeah.
It did. It did look stupid. I don't know if I showed you the picture, but I actually just picked that figure up,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
pretty sweet
That,
looking. But
that
yeah,
did look sweet.
but the body, I'm like, that's what you chose. Like that's the fucking body
It looks
because
like the Mad
Shredder
Max.
actually
Right.
built the body for him.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, because
oh, shit.
when he came from Dimension X, he came in, and what they were going to do is they opened up Dimension X to bring in some of the guys from Dimension X, and I forget the name of them, but they were like rock soldiers basically.
Okay,
And he brought them in to help him fight the turtles.
like General
So-
Trang and or Krang. What's General Trang?
Now I forgot their names, but they're
It was like a rock
dudes.
guy,
Yeah,
yeah.
big rock guys. Yeah. So he brought them in so that way he can help them overthrow the turtles. But he told Shredder, he's like, I don't want them to see me. They can't see me like this. I need a body. So they see him like that, and then so after the plane gets full, and then they get shipped back to Dimension X. Krang's like, I need a body now. So that's when Shredder's like, okay, we'll build you that body.
Look at
Yeah,
Shredder.
body.
Fucking
Yeah.
Shredder.
No kidding, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of a scientific knowledge there. Now
Yeah.
I remember the Krang toy that I had. It had like a hole in the bottom, and it fit like on my finger.
Yes.
But it didn't come in that man. It came in like that little
Yeah, the little
two
ecto
legs.
suit, if you will, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
suit.
And that's the way they still come now because the one that I have, even though the body, it comes with a hole at the bottom too. You can stick it in there.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But the Krang toy though from the Turtles series, it was like too big to go into. It would have to have been a big toy for
Yes,
that one to
for that
fit
one to
in.
go in, right?
Yeah, because it was kind of like he was kind of more round. Also, he wasn't like elongated like a football. I was like,
Right.
he always looked like a kind of football shape. When
Yeah, that was
stuffed in that
yeah,
guy's
right,
gut
right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was I don't know. I thought that was stupid. So.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
But guys, we're nearing up on our next break. I'm gonna go ahead and go to it now because I can see some comments are loaded.
Okay,
But
go ahead. Go
are you
ahead.
good with that?
Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so let me take a break real quick right now. Let's stop it again. If you're joining us live, we're not going anywhere. We're going to read your comments right now. So that's what we're going to do. So guys, if you're listening on the audio, we'll be right back. Guys, if you're joining us on the live, thanks so much for hanging in there. I switched from the screen with the comments because everyone has a desire to read the comments as they're popping up. So I'm going to go ahead and read those now. Thank you for hanging out with us. Let's see. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah,
I got to go all the way up.
Yeah.
All the way up. So, guys, any questions for Jack about any of that stuff?
You gotta go up.
Transformers, anything toy related. Then you've got him here at your disposal to ask.
All right, right there. Because I remember seeing they get dangerous. Because I was thinking about Darkwing Duck. So go down.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Down a little bit. And we go on that.
I brought right there.
Yeah, right there. I think it's about good. Yeah.
Okay, so Jess says he was so snobby.
She's talking about Scrappy.
Scrappy. That's right. That's right.
He was a scrappy little bastard.
And Aaron says, I like the fatalities of Mortal Kombat. Does that count? Definitely does not count, Aaron. That was past the 80s. So, yeah. That was Nene that said it gets so dangerous in here. And I know there was another comment earlier about wanting a three-way or something like that. I don't know. It's always nice, Nene. We always appreciate that stuff. Joe says 80s Dennis the Menace. Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, that is true. Dennis the Menace was from the 80s for sure.
But he was also from a cartoon clipping.
From the comics,
strip, which probably predated the 80s. I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know where you count with Dennis the Menace on that.
Yeah, Heathcliff.
We got Richard Henry in the house. 80s cartoons were awesome. Thundercats was one of the best.
Yes,
totally agree with you, Richard. Hey, thanks for joining us, by the way. You look like you're new to the group here, so I hope that you're still hanging out and watching the show, so that's awesome. Roxanne says Scrappy Doo is the worst. Joe said Heathcliff. Yeah, totally.
And I like Heathcliff too. Yeah, me too.
Not as
I
much
can
as Garfield.
sing you the theme song if you want, but I won't.
Oh, okay. I was waiting now. Now I want to hear it. Jack, come on, a couple bars.
Heathcliff, no one should terrorize your neighborhood. Yes, I can go with that. Yeah.
There you go, right there.
80s were big on cartoons just to sell toys. Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly it.
Richard says, who was a fan of Johnny Quest?
I was a huge Johnny Quest.
Like Johnny Quest too. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think he was 80s though. I think he was a little bit before because my dad was a fan of Johnny Quest.
Yeah, right. He was
definitely
right.
Now I know
the replays came out in the 80s. Yeah, for sure, definitely.
They definitely did some reboots. I always felt like Race was like a real life George Clooney.
Race was a badass.
Yeah, Race was a badass.
Right, yeah.
And of course, Haji. That's where the Haji name comes from.
Right.
It kind of became a slur now, unfortunately. But great, cool character too, because he was an Indian from India. So, that was awesome. Joe says Paul Dini, who did Batman, also worked on He-Man. I did not know that about him. Paul Dini is fantastic. Just says, dang, a true men's show.
Because I think you said it was some woman's cartoon, and you're like, whatever.
Women count too, Chuck. Yes, women do. Yes, women do.
Our ultimate ma'am.
Sorry.
I know, right? No, ma'am.
Intergender champion.
We got to get to some
I love the rest of women.
I mean,
he's no man, but he has his yes, ma'am shirt.
But Charlie was our intergender champion.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, intergender champion. That's right.
That's sometimes I've got my shirt at home. International Women's Champion.
Yeah. Okay.
Holtzy Bear says G.I. Joe figures cost $3,895. I do kind of remember that price being the price point, which I think my dad.
Yeah, they were small. Yeah,
but the most and best posability.
Yes.
At the time.
I
agree. Because they had the arm articulation, the waist would move, and it had. I remember, and I kind of get off topic, but I remember I had Scarlet, and I had her up in a tree. And I dropped her, and she fucking burst in half. And that's when I knew that the torso and the lower body would be held by a fucking rubber band.
Yeah, that thick black rubber band in there. Aaron says, "Do they have a flabby version of He-Man?" I don't think. I mean, that would. What would you do with
maybe the Mexican version?
Maybe
set him on the couch. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm sure it's out there. They're probably out there. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
John says He-Man always had a lesson too. Like G.I. Joe did.
You know what? I don't really remember it that well. Maybe. It might be right.
Yeah, towards the end, he would talk a little bit. Yeah, moral. Yeah. And that was the thing with 80s cartoons is, and I guess I skipped on that earlier, but they did, right? They came back with their points.
Always did, too.
Right. They always had something towards the end of the cartoon that made you have to think about it.
Joe says, now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, here's a great question from Richard. He says, out of the 80s cartoons, which was the best villain? Don't answer, guys. Let's wait till I get back into it. That's a great question, Richard. Thank you. He says, Aaron says, can't they have a cartoon with a degenerate?
They did. Yeah. Take your pick.
Where do we start?
Yeah.
I was like, with scumbags and lowlife.
That's right.
Joe says turtles still hold up.
They were saying what still holds
Skeletor. And he also tells Joe she has She-Ra. Jeremy says most definitely Skeletor. Okay. I guess we're getting the argument going in here about who was the best.
I like Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander is a true snake. Yeah, definitely true. Aaron would like to know if Skeletor got bitches.
Okay.
I mean, Evil Lynn. I mean,
For sure. Right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. He had Evil Lynn.
Jennifer Rios in the house. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Welcome to the live. You seem to be new in this portion as well, so we appreciate you being in the house. Maria says Speedy Gonzalez and Slowpoke Rodriguez were the shit. She says Pepe Le Pew are my favorite. Those are a little bit older, Mom. Yeah, kind of sting specifically in the 80s, but yeah, those were great.
Yeah, I still like Speedy Gonzalez.
Joe said fucking Transformer animated movie killed me as it did Optimus Prime.
A lot of 80s kids.
Come on, John. What? Pepe Le Pew is not a rapist. He didn't have sex with
anyone. Okay. I know
he
did, but he was he tried. I mean, he was though. Let's think about it. He didn't succeed, but he was.
I think that he was just very persistent.
No,
what he wanted. You know what I mean?
If he could keep her, he would have definitely banged.
You know, if she could have avoided going under the ladder and getting the paint on her, he wouldn't even have been interested.
All he wanted was love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. It was a lot of just heavy petting, is what I saw.
True. Okay.
Richard says, I never understood why he turned into a gun. I think Jack kind of talked about that point. He just fly on the floor if you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Aaron says Megatron is a putz.
Okay.
All right. You know what I mean? Pink in the Brain a little bit later.
Yeah, that's a little bit
Pink in the Brain is way.
John says Stinkor. Great toy.
Stinkor's a great one, yeah.
And John says he had Castle Grayskull. Okay. All right, Holtzy, very nice. Aaron says Blue's Clues.
Really off, Aaron.
Yeah, no,
Aaron, are you drinking more than us?
Aaron, what's in your cup tonight?
Yeah, seriously.
Aaron says he would be Donatello. Right now, you're acting like Michelangelo. So, but
actually,
all right.
He's acting more like one of the damn Foot
Clan. Joe says I'd hang with the turtles and eat pizza. All right, I like that. That's a good answer. Yep. A good, solid answer there. Henry says I thought Shredder was a weak villain. Okay. I want to explore that a little bit.
Yeah, because I did too. Because the villains. Okay, well, we'll talk about that more later. But I
for sure. Jeremy says. Man, that was my show back until I got a blanket.
I still got a blanket.
You still got the turtles. Let's talk a little bit more, Jeremy, about the turtles.
Because his uncle was a huge turtle fan.
Is that right? Yeah. That's right. Uncle Ruben is a huge fan of Friday Night at Ruben. Aaron says, fun fact, Kevin Eastman invented the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That is a fun fact. You guys have to do a video game show that combines with cartoons. Okay. We might need some more gamers out in the house to do that. I will mention this, though, guys. I'm always talking on here about Fortnite. I play Fortnite with my nephew. Who the fuck came out this week? Random surprise on our 80s episode. Snake Eyes. You can now play and run around in Snake Eyes. And he looks badass. And they're already going to release a toy of it.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm like, what the shit, man? That is quick. Jeremy says, I think about the video games. Now you're speaking my language. Aaron says it would be awesome to have the people that actually made the voices of these cartoons on the show. Well, yeah, we'd love that.
For sure.
You got their numbers, Aaron? Give them.
Yeah, send it.
Jason says, where can?
What Joe said.
Sorry.
No, right there. Jason, where can find She-Hulk books? You can go to Authority Comics at Traders. Mario does have a selection, or you can go to Heroes. I would say Heroes. Go to Heroes.
Yeah, I just told AA Jason that I was over at Gravity Damage Comics. Really great bookstore. A lot of back stock. We have different opinions on there. But look, I've been looking for House of M. I haven't found anything. I found it's an 8-issue run. I found all 7 out of 8 issues in one shot for under $4. It was the issue one was cheaper than the issue one I got when I was with you at Heroes.
Gravity Damage. Go to
I'm just saying Damage, Jason, mention our name.
But you're gonna have to really look. That fucking story's like just unorganized.
It's tough. It's a little bit. I had to move things around. You mention our name, you won't get it. They'll think that you're crazy, won't know what you're talking about, but maybe they'll be like, we want to know who these guys are next time that we come in. So it could help us on that end. So what else we got, guys? Joe says Turtles had a bunch of accessories and vehicles. Definitely.
That van was pretty cool with the pizzas that shot out.
Yes.
That was pretty fucking cool. And then the turtle.
I didn't have either one of those.
Badass.
Jack says
Joe says Jack with the married and children pool. I like this guy.
Because I was saying about you being no man but having a yes man shirt.
What would y'all say is the worst 80s cartoon? Richard
That's
says.
a great question. What are those two questions? We got to write those down, guys.
He said, what's the best 80s villain? And then what's the worst 80s cartoon?
Okay, great. Keep reading, guys. Keep reading.
Jeremy says, fun fact, the Predator is a Disney princess now. Oh, okay, Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
I think he's referring to is it because Marvel got the rights to distribute the Predator?
That could be.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
is the Predator female?
Yeah.
That's really
Hey,
the real
could have
question.
some, yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
I mean, I'm sure they have female predators. They would have to, right?
And then Joe says, "Damn, House of M." Joe says, "Worst '80s cartoon, worst '80s car kid."
That's it. I don't know. I would have to. You got to give us a little bit more, Joe, on that one. But guys, that was the comments for that first break. We're gonna get back into recording. We got some great questions and material to talk about right when we get back, which is gonna be pretty much right now. So, guys, if you're hanging out with us on the audio version, we appreciate it. Remember, every Friday night you can join us and join live, join the conversation, give us your questions, your thoughts, your opinions on what we're talking about right now. The chat is blowing up all about 80s cartoons, and we got some great stuff out of there. One of them from Richard Henry Schoenfeld. Richard, I'm sorry if I butchered that. I hope I didn't. But Richard had some really great questions in the chat regarding 80s cartoons, which we're talking about tonight. All things 80s. Guys, you want to start there or take it from there with those questions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
So he said, "Best '80s villain."
Tough. I mean, for me, it comes out of what we talked about, the big five. So
Yeah.
for me, if I had to throw a list out there, guys, disagree or agree? Cobra Commander, Megatron, Momra, Shredder, and
Then you have to go with
would it be,
well, number 5 would be
if we're going strictly based off of the
He-Man.
Skeletor?
Skeletor, yeah.
Okay. Are they all in, or they don't all make it?
So Megatron would be my number one
Number one,
Right.
because he seemed to have the most success
Yes.
out of all of them, especially in the movie. I mean, he just goes on a big killing spree.
maybe the most
And
ruthless as well.
I think too,
Yeah.
when we look at this, right, I think we need to figure out this, right? We're talking about best 80s villain, right?
Yes.
Let's put them all, right? All of our 80 villains just in a fucking room or whatever on a planet.
Oh, I like.
Who's the last man standing, or who's the last one standing?
Megatron
Yeah,
would be the
I
last
agree.
one.
No, he wouldn't be. He would have to form an alliance for someone to carry him around.
Well, not, but in his gun mode,
Yeah, but
but
his
in
big cannon,
man,
he
that
has
cannon
something
was powerful as
Okay,
all fuck.
that's true.
Now, here's the thing, and this I was going to touch on this earlier, but when we look at the Transformers up into the Transformers movie, these fucking guys and Autobots and Decepticons alike shot like they were fucking stormtroopers. They couldn't hit jack shit. It wasn't until the fucking movie that they were able to connect with these guys.
No, but you know what?
It took them a while to get
It
there.
had to learn, right, to accuracy on
But
their guns.
it's not just that, but when I was watching season 1 of Transformers, his ideas actually
Right.
worked.
Correct. That's true.
They got energon way more and quicker than the Autobots did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because you're right.
Yeah, his plans always just seem to work.
He definitely was like that master villain leader that was able to utilize his pawns, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I know Soundwave, you're my spy guy. Go
Right.
send your guys out and find this
and
and
they
that.
were always there.
Starscream, go up in the air and figure this out, right? So yeah, he was able to utilize his group better than I think the other ones were, because the other guys were like, go out there and fight these guys.
I'd have to say, I'm sorry to disagree with DCM, but I have to say Cobra Commander is like one of the worst.
Yeah, you might
see that.
I don't know.
That fucker's plan never worked, and he would always be retreating at the end.
Yeah.
Well-
I'd have to say, out of G.I. Joe, I'd have to say Serpentor was the better villain
vastly better.
than Cobra Commander, because Cobra Commander was just sorry.
Well, I gotta say, Jack's scenario put me in a different mindset. Now.
Okay.
And I'll say this. Now I'm thinking about the two magic wielders, which to me would be Skeletor and Mumra,
Yeah.
may be the last men standing versus each other because they can wield that type. It's kind of a power. Anytime you're wielding magic, to me, it's like, although we didn't really see them wield it well, as you're right, they didn't have a lot of success. You know, I think maybe in a different scenario, then it's like they're presented with
don't
different
forget,
challenges.
Skeletor is not the only villain on Masters of the Universe.
Right.
What
Mhm.
about King Hiss? What
Hordak.
about Hordak?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Skeletor's
And,
master and mentor, Hordak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also a good point.
And
That's
you also
true.
have to look at
Sure.
too their makeup, right? So they were all flesh and bones, right? Skeletor was fucking really flesh and bones when you
Yeah.
look at it, right?
Yeah.
So that's unless barring that they're using some kind of magic to put on a shield, a force field, or whatever, you're flesh and bones. So you have to look at that part too. How easy are you to get killed versus your other villains.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And that's what I think about too. When I think about number one, Megatron would be larger than all of them physically. You know what I mean? Like, he'd be bigger. So then you've got a guy like Shredder pretty much is out.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna get whomped by these guys that are magic and a giant fucking robot with
because he knows karate, right? He knows all that, but to your point, that's all he ever used was his blades on his.
Yeah, that's a great point. And had very little success against the
Yes. Don't forget Unicron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that is true. The universal threat, right?
If we're saying that, I mean, Unicron wins. Yeah. In general, Unicron crushes them all.
He's a planet.
Yeah. Good to see the fucking planet
size.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Robot transformer.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's interesting. And we haven't even dug into some of the other ones I have written down here that I think about. And this lends a little bit to.
And then one of my brother's favorites, Tex.
We
talked about him, the old Western villain
that's
of
right.
the future.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
So the other question that we had from Richard was worst 80s cartoons. So with that, you might be thinking about maybe the worst 80s. Some of the worst 80s villains. But before we get to what the worst 80s cartoons are, and we probably will get to them here, because again, I wrote down some of these from the Ranker article about the 100 greatest 80s cartoons, and I wrote down the rank. But I want to talk a little bit more maybe we call the mid-card guys, the intercontinental champions of there. And you mentioned Tex, so let's just go right into Brave Star,
Silverhawks, Mask.
Mm-hmm.
I would say those are like your second tier.
Yeah.
Jack GoBots.
You
gotta say it was there, man. It was there. A lot of people a fan of, Leader One. I mean, he was one of the one that people liked. Return to a Jet, like one of the Top Gun jets in the 80s. And so it was like, that was a cool. I remember him, but he's the only one I remember. I can't name the villain. I can't name another character. So tough for me. Now, when it comes to Brave Star, same thing. I've got Tex and I know Brave Star. But
what a cool kind of show, right? Western.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't like Western?
Right.
Yeah.
And then he's a cowboy sheriff,
right? Yeah. And I believe he was Native American. I believe that was an aspect of the show.
That's a good one. Yes, he was Native American.
So I also watched, I think, the first episode of that, and that story had like a little bit of a moral kind of too, like don't turn your back on your friends, things like that. Those were still kind of the same.
Look, morals. I mean, you can say like. They tried redoing G.I. Joe. That one sucked. When Cobra Commander was in that armor.
Yeah.
Yes.
They did a Masters of the Universe like in space.
Right.
Yes. That was terrible.
That was like in the 2000s, right?
Yeah, that was terrible. No, in space. Like he's actually in space. Right. That's just fucking terrible. I mean, you got a lot of bad shit that came out. Worst cartoon though.
Well, I think if you want to look at that, I mean, and this may be going off a different tangent, but what if we look at which ones didn't last as long?
That's interesting,
because you think about some lasted seasons and some lasted one season or hell half a season.
Yeah,
and so the one, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. Texted you was the original Ghostbusters cartoon, right? Like Ghostbusters, not the real Ghostbusters that we know,
right?
But Ghostbusters, they lasted just a season, and that was it. Yeah. But that's because real Ghostbusters came along and pretty much fucking killed that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that's the reason why they put the word "real."
The real, right?
Because it was a reference to the movie and all that.
Right.
Now, does anybody know why they made them look so different than the movie characters?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know why they look so different.
Right.
That was one thing I did not like about that cartoon.
I just think that maybe it's because you have to, again, you're, if you will, pandering towards children, right? So you have to make it look different. You have to make it look more animated. Yeah, that's true. Right. Yeah. Versus the black hair. Yeah.
It didn't make a lot of sense to me.
But great cartoon, Ghostbusters. Very underrated. Not talked about too much, but very spooky.
They made a lot of reference to the Tobin Spirit guy, which they talk about in the movie. But they were constantly going back to that. And I read that a lot of those were based on actual stuff that they read, like in demonic books and things like that. So very interesting.
Very cool cartoon. I actually had the DVD of that first season, so pretty fucking cool.
So of all these cartoons that we're talking about, guys, and I don't know if we've really hit on what was necessarily the worst yet, but the one that I own actually the series of is Silverhawks. I always liked Silverhawks. Had a great opening music. I thought the characters were cool, and I thought that the villain was really badass. Yeah. Monstar. He was, I remember I had his figure, the head would flip. He looked kind of scary in the one form, but then he looked scarier in the other form with the spikes on his head. They're in space, you know what I mean? Like, they're in these like silver futuristic suits. They fly around. I mean, like, I just remember it being like really like a kind of a cool concept. And to kind of call back real quick to Braveheart, those were great toys because I remember, well, I didn't spend, but my parents spent money on those because I had that badass blaster that he had. And then the toys were big. They were like a big 12-inch figure, I think. And you could buy that one where you put the backpack on him, and when you shoot the blaster at him, it would knock him over. I think it had something inside that made it like react. So I mean, that made it fun also to watch the cartoon and then have those toys that went along with it.
Of course, yeah, because I mean, it's just very exciting, you know.
So
what about Rambo? Did any of you guys see Rambo?
I used to watch that.
Or what about the Hulk Hogan one?
Yeah.
Would you say maybe those are bad, or would you say those?
Well,
are
let me ask this question, maybe, because your least favorite cartoon to watch back then. I'm gonna tell you mine right away. My least favorite cartoon that I change every fucking time. Teddy Ruxpin. I fucking hate that cartoon. And that's going deep into the bag. When that came on, I was like, I'm not watching this shit. I don't give a shit. If it was the only thing I didn't watch it. So for me, Teddy Ruxpin was probably the worst.
Yeah, that's really interesting because that's a great way to think about it. Because I'm trying to remember what I would change often, and it's tough because I mean, for the most part, I would even give, you know, I mean, besides saying that I would change the girls cartoons because really I would because I couldn't get into it. You know?
I watched Care Bears. I watched She-Ra.
Care Bears I liked. I liked She-Ra. I even used to watch this one called like Beverly Hills something or other. I can't remember outside, but it was definitely a girl cartoon. No, that would have been a sweet cartoon.
Yes, right.
But it was basically, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like a Betty and Veronica, like a Archie type thing.
Okay.
And that was kind of what was going on. It was a lot of like the boyfriend, girlfriend, like whatever, but it took place in Beverly Hills, whatever. Right. That was a girl cartoon, but I was okay with it. But I couldn't really get into Strawberry Shortcake, Rainbow Bright, not that I guess I was supposed to. It wasn't marketed towards me.
Right.
But I mean, I felt like I would change those, but I got down with like Fraggle Rock. We mentioned the Wuzzles earlier.
Wuzzles, yeah.
I don't really remember seeing it, so maybe it was not. But speaking of some of the ones you mentioned, so those were on the list. So Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling, it was ranked 62 on Ranker's list. That came out in 1985. Challenge of the GoBots was 1984. It was ranked 63.
Ooh,
so right
there.
Been lower Rambo, I didn't get it on here, but I do remember watching that, and I owned the toys.
That's just a hard cartoon to even try to do. You know?
But compared to the movie, right? If you're aiming towards children, you're gonna make a cartoon about pretty much a fucking guy going around just killing everybody.
PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD. And you're going to aim that towards kids. Like, no way. Like, even in the 80s.
That was always hard.
Right, because the 80s were hardcore. But even in the 80s, that's a hard one to sell.
What was the Chuck Norris one called? Because I watched
Missing in Action.
And, and I had the, no. There was a cartoon, though.
You had a cartoon,
too? And there was a car. And I had the car.
Anybody know Chuck Norris's cartoon?
And there were figures. We may have to go to the comments with that to get the answer.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Wow. Let's wait till the break to do a little bit more because y'all got some good comments in there about what we're talking about. So I'll definitely get to those in the next break. But guys, let me read you a few more off the list here. So we talked about Silverhawks, we talked about GoBots, and we talked about Bravestar. We briefly mentioned Inspector Gadget earlier.
Yeah,
that was actually in the top 10.
I liked it.
I liked it.
I did too. Yeah,
I always wanted to see Claw.
Claw was a cool sound. He had like a robot arm. You know, that's a cat. I mean, that voice. Oh man, that voice was fucking scary.
It was. It really definitely was.
Our cousin, Penny was always the real.
She was the brains.
The brains,
because he really was a fucking dumbass. He was she had to save him all the fucking time. She had to save the show for him.
Did you guys catch any of the movies? I didn't.
No, I didn't.
No.
I couldn't get into them.
No.
But me and Friday Night or Belinda, we used to love to watch Inspector Gadget. That's our cousin. We would love Penny and Brain. The dog's name was Brain.
Yeah, Brain.
And he was pretty clever. He would do a lot of the legwork.
Right.
So how about this? Double A going right into our world. And Jack, I want to know where you stand on this because this is not really necessarily your realm, but I'm sure you were watching it at the time. 1982. Rank number 42 on Ranker's list, The Incredible Hulk.
The cartoon.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's when it was. And remember that great opening and he's holding up that giant Incredible Hulk block?
Right, I remember that.
That was a fucking, how about the transformation in that cartoon?
That's
very fun, very greatly animated. That's
it's crazy that I don't remember it being that early on in the 80s. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a great one.
Yeah,
here's another one that I loved because again, it's already in the vein of things I love. And it's actually earlier than that, 1981, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man. What a great
Iceman.
combo, right?
Yeah,
They
right.
What a weird combo.
Yes.
Now, am I correct? I don't know if you guys know.
She's created for the show.
She's created for the show.
Yes.
Firestar, right?
Firestar.
You know, the great scene of Iceman icing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And burst out.
Yep.
And he used the ice so well. He would travel around the city
body.
on it.
Man,
Right. All
body
this
drink.
ice for fucking people to
Yeah.
fall on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a super fun cartoon.
That was fun.
I love
Yeah,
that
was.
one.
I did too. You're right.
We've been talking quite a bit about the real Ghostbusters. That was 1986.
That was
It
a
was
great
actually
show,
ranked
too.
number 17.
Yeah.
For anyone keeping track, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was ranked 16.
Ooh,
And The
nice.
Incredible Hulk was ranked 42.
Okay.
I already said Inspector Gadget was number 10. And then Brave Star from 1987 was ranked 48, kind of low.
Okay.
And the one I
Very
liked,
low.
Silverhawks, was ranked 32 from
Okay.
Wow, that's
1986.
low too, I think.
So I want to talk a little bit. Y'all mentioned this one. Y'all talk more about it than me because I watched it, but I wasn't really deep in it. But 1984, Voltron ranked number
Oh, yeah.
18.
Hey,
yeah.
This
I
was-
think that should have been
I
higher.
fucking love Ultron.
When I first, and you love Power Rangers, so when I
Yes.
first saw Power Rangers, I was like, "Is this a Voltron ripoff?" That was my first
Yeah.
thought. It was like
Right.
smaller bots that
I
form a
mean,
big
red,
bot.
black, yellow. They had all the colors.
The orange one was the
They-
fat guy,
They all formed a fucking super robot
Right.
with the
which
sword.
was cool.
but,
That was cool.
man, Voltron, 5 people from Earth,
Yeah.
forming this, old defender of the universe
Yep.
against King. What was his name, Jack?
Oh,
I know
shit, I don't
Lothar.
remember.
I know Haggard, the witch. You remember the witch?
I
scene?
remember their faces, but man,
But man,
it's,
it was so scary.
Yeah.
It's a scary fucking
Yeah.
cartoon.
Yeah, it
I
is.
remember the animation was different. And I
Yeah.
remember that like
But the cartoon, man, the opening theme,
Yes.
do-do-do,
Yep.
do-do-do,
Yeah.
do-do-do, do-do.
I remember it looked
Yeah.
cool, and when I
And I
would
think
watch
Peter
it,
Cullen does narration,
Yeah, he
right?
does.
So that's what makes
Right.
it's Optimus Prime
Optimus
doing
Prime
the fucking
narrating, yeah.
that's
narration.
really badass.
And then his pose,
Yes.
That's what I remember. I remember that great sword with
the
kind of the
lions.
spike at the
Yes,
end.
the
Yeah,
li-
the
and they
one
had
that always
great-
roared.
They had great fucking toys too.
Yeah,
That's the
yes,
thing.
they did. And Voltron's toy was a big metal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
a
metal.
huge
I remember that.
metal.
Huge
I mean,
metal.
that'll fucking kill you falling off
Yeah.
the shelf like 6 feet up.
I don't think I had any, but I had friends that had them, and I remember playing with those. And if you drop that bitch on your foot, it was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh fuck,
You might
like,
break a fucking toe.
yeah, your
But,
sock
I
would
mean,
protect you from
no,
that.
no, definitely
Voltron,
not.
Defender of the Universe.
Yeah.
The way he slices creatures in half
Yes.
with his sword.
Yes.
I mean, golly, what the keys? You remember the keys?
Yes,
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah,
It had a lot
no.
of like, it was built for like accessories and extra
Yeah,
shit to
Right.
buy.
It
there.
had to be, yeah.
But that was my first experience with like smaller bots become a big bot, and I remember thinking that he looked so cool in that big bot form, and I was like, man, Voltron
Yeah.
looks like really
The
badass.
symbol.
Oh, yeah.
all black. The face. I mean,
Yeah,
And what year was that one?
that one I have Voltron. It says 1984. Now I don't know if
84, yeah.
this ranker list is maybe the list that came here because I feel like that might have been like a Japanese
Yeah.
cartoon too. Maybe it came
It
from
was.
Voltron.
Right,
It was
it
called
was.
Go
It definitely
Lion.
was.
I actually
Yeah.
have those.
No shit.
Yes, I actually
Okay.
have those in my collection.
Is it earlier than 80s?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know how many. We talked about earlier. The toys that made us, and if you watch it, you'll see how much stuff we adapted from Japan and just kind of
Japanese cartoons.
remarketed
Oh,
for
yeah, for
us.
The one thing, interrupt
No, no,
here,
no,
is,
go ahead.
which, and you and I both know this, Double A, is it came from Japan,
Mhm.
and we got it a little bit later, but Dragon Ball.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
an 80s.
It's on my list.
Yeah, that's an 80s.
It's on my
cartoon.
list for you guys.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and
What
Double
a
A
great
told me this
cartoon.
before.
Great cartoon.
Before you walked in, we were talking before we were setting up. I mentioned DBZ also, Dragon Ball Z, and he
Yeah.
said no, more 90s, but it
yeah,
does say
definitely.
89 is what the ranker listed. It might be
Yeah,
wrong.
because
but-
it did start. No, you're right. It did start at 89 is when they actually kicked off, and then, but it's in the U.S. for sure. It's 90s.
The chat's gonna blow up. I know with you guys. I'm gonna let you guys run on Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So tell me the difference. First of all, what's the difference between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z?
You know what?
All the
Dragon Ball
cartoons.
might actually still be my favorite out of the
I
Z,
agree.
GT, and the Super.
And everything,
Dragon
yeah.
Ball is just really.
when is Frieza?
That's Z.
Z.
Okay.
Dragon Ball is like.
So I don't
yeah.
think I've ever seen Dragon Ball.
No,
I've just
Dragon
seen
Ball is like
Z.
him training with Master Roshi.
Right.
Going up
He's a
against
kid.
Tien.
Who are the bad guys?
Piccolo.
Piccolo,
Tien. The
Tien.
Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah.
Piccolo's
well,
my
even
favorite.
I mean, so was Yamcha was the
Yamcha.
enemy. Yeah, he was the bad guy.
I mean, but it focuses more on fighting
Right.
CM
Mhm.
than the blast. Like you
Correct.
hardly see blast.
Okay.
Right. You
So,
see
like-
it more towards the end.
Yeah, so like the tournament battles are really,
Oh, yeah,
really
those are
good.
amazing,
They're really
yeah.
good choreographed. They go at it with just like fists and
Fist.
kicks.
Yes.
So that's what's really cool about Dragon Ball.
Right.
compared to the rest, where it just kind of gets more outrageous.
Right.
With
Okay.
the,
Light
with the
shows
power ups and all that stuff.
Sir, those points, light shows and mirrors.
Yeah, you're getting more of the martial arts in Dragon Ball.
No spirit bombs in that one.
No,
No,
Okay.
definitely
no,
not.
Okay.
no.
You barely got the Kamehameha wave in that one.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah,
It's
early,
just straight up fighting.
Yeah.
Almost just
Okay.
fists.
And that's
kicks.
one that you guys have kept up with over the years. And
Yeah,
definitely.
they're still making more, correct?
Right.
Super Dragon Ball Super.
It's the latest, it's the latest of it. Now they may end up making some more.
They will. They will.
They definitely will. Because it's a money.
But Dragon Ball,
time.
guys, I would recommend Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
That's a really good. It's on Hulu.
Yeah,
You can watch
it is,
Dragon
right.
Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. You can watch
Right.
that all on Hulu right
Yep.
now.
I don't know if they follow the show or not. They may or whatever. But my three of my buddies from when I lived in California when my dad was in the military, the Bueno brothers, Paul, Javi, and Sergio, they lived in Japan because their dad got stationed there.
Nice.
And remember when they came back and I got to see them in California, they brought over the games that were the Japanese versions of the games. We must have been playing on Super NES. It had to be, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember being blown away by the fighting and them showing me all that. And it was all in Japanese. So I didn't get it. They had the cartoons. They showed me some of it. I remember being kind of intrigued, but I didn't like the reading, the subtitles and all that. I was like, eh. But I remember really being into that first season of Dragon Ball Z. I watched the whole Frieza saga, and I liked that one a lot. I even had a Dragon Ball shirt your mom gave me. I remember it being blue. That was the only Dragon Ball Z shirt I ever owned. But I really enjoyed that one. But I quickly kind of found that it was a similar plot throughout. It's like new bad guy, let me power up.
Right.
New bad guy, let me power. There was really no more depth to the characters. I felt like the one that I did like a lot was Piccolo. He was a character I felt had a lot of depth, that there was a lot more to be done with him. I would have liked to have seen other people power up. I liked Vegeta's character. I liked the kind of power hungriness and the wanting to be number one. And I would have liked to have seen them advance too. Maybe I didn't get enough into it to see those things happen. If y'all be the ones to educate me.
They don't advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vegeta himself, honestly, because the creator of the show, for whatever reason, he doesn't care for Vegeta, so he won't let him win the big one. He won't. He will always let Goku win the big one. Vegeta just won't, and it's kind of fucked up, right, Ken?
Yeah,
Sucks.
big time. But and Dragon Ball was something that Friday Night member Marquise actually introduced to my brother Will, who then introduced it to me. So I have to give credit to Friday Night faithful member Marquise.
And he bought me the shirt. So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, but going into Dragon Ball Z, that's when I discovered Dragon Ball, and I got to see that after school. They started showing Dragon Ball after school.
At that time, I would go to your house after school, and I would see it there too. I think we were still at the same
so that's
school
where
together.
I fell in love with it. I love the Master Roshi character.
Yeah,
And that's where you can really see Master Roshi at his
at
worst.
his finest.
At his finest,
Yeah.
at his worst, whatever
Right.
you want to call it.
Right.
You can really find him at his finest in Dragon Ball. So it was cool. Man, a lot of death in Dragon Ball too.
Yeah.
A lot of death.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, the fighting is probably the best fighting I've seen in all variations of Dragon Ball.
Right.
Was probably from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
The best fighting.
So some of the things we talked about these other 80s cartoons kind of don't seem to apply to Dragon Ball. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah, no.
You know,
No, definitely.
so
it
let
was
me-
on its own level.
Let me ask you, what kept you, or what keeps your interest in a cartoon like that? Where, like I said, for me, it's like,
So for you, it's the same. It's repetitiveness.
Right.
For me, it was they're developing new stuff, new stories. Like Dragon Ball Super was really good when he came out with that one. They had this tournament style with all the 9 universes. They introduced a multiverse.
Yes,
okay.
they sure
Okay,
did.
so
you
that
did
was
Goku versus Goku?
no.
Oh.
Just there was other universes.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Okay.
There's like 9 universes.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. They had a story with Akai. You know, the ones that kind of take care.
Yeah.
Where one of them goes rogue
Yeah.
Okay.
and becomes immortal
Immortal,
because
right.
he thinks all life on in the universe is just like the worst. So he
Right.
just
If
wants
you're not a god, you should not.
yeah.
You
So
should
he
not
just
exist,
wants to
basically.
eradicate all life in the
Okay.
universe. That was a really cool storyline. Dragon Ball GT, you had some really cool stories. You
Yeah.
had the dragons, the dragon being like the main enemy. So it was kind of like different stories. You had like Cell. Cell's a really cool villain.
Yeah, I remember he
Boo's
was
a
the
really
second
cool
one after
villain.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got to see Gohan kind of like go into like a new kind of level.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool to
And
see
to your
different
point, double A
stories.
on the dragons. So for those that don't know, like the dragons, they had Dragon Ball, right? They had these 7 mystical balls that if you collected them all together, you can make a wish and a dragon would appear. Right? Any wish you want, a dragon would appear. So for GT, they essentially were for the different kind of like universes, if you will. They had these different dragons, and so essentially they all came together and formed one mega Shenron, who was like pretty much a master of all. He collected all the Dragon Balls into him, and he pretty much collected all the dragon into himself and became like the ultimate villain for that one.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Which was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, because I was always kind of wondering that too about the Dragon Balls. Like, did anyone ever get them all?
Well, that's the thing.
You get to make a wish, right?
That's the thing, though. It's like they collected it and used it so many times that it started getting negative energy.
Oh, right. Shit.
And it became an evil dragon. Yeah.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. So that's what kind of kept us in, and that's pretty cool. That's kind of something that the other cartoons just never could seem to get a grasp on. Transformers can never last that long.
Yeah.
Even these new variations I've seen, they all kind of like they don't have that same feel like the original.
No.
Masters came kind of close in 2002. I like that variation. Thundercats didn't really even make it.
But I did like the new Thundercats when
I remember,
came out.
it was fine,
they cut it
but
short.
I don't know.
You're not talking about the one where they look super like little kids.
Yeah, I did like that one. That one I did. Yeah,
okay.
I think you double said you liked that one too, right?
But they never last long.
No, they don't.
That's the thing, though. Yeah. They don't seem to have this.
And I'm going to tell you what, though. I think honestly, in my opinion, I think it's just because of the era we're in. Well, sure. Right? The attention span now of children, it's gone.
Oh, right? Yeah.
They're more interested in getting on iPads and
how many Ninja Turtles have we seen?
Oh, yeah,
different variations of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I remember when they introduced the Girl Turtle, too. They had introduced that for a while.
Right, not at all.
Well, guys, let me get back to the list just for a little bit here. And I'm going to run down. I don't want to be discriminatory for Jess or whoever to call me out. So I do want to mention one that I did watch a little bit of in the girl cartoon kind of category. 1985, ranked number 37, Jim. You remember that one?
Jim. Holy shit.
Pink hair.
Holy shit.
She was a rock and roll star. That was kind of pretty much her thing with her.
That's right.
That was kind of. I remember catching it and it being like, okay, I think I like the musical aspect of it, but I couldn't really remember any plots. I think that's kind of part of the reason for me that the girl cartoons, I don't want to say they lack this because I didn't really know, but it seemed like there really wasn't like a hero villain dynamic. You know what I mean? They were going through different things. You know what I mean?
The stories are just not going to connect with little kid boys, right? You know, they're not really going to connect very well.
Yeah, for sure.
And we did talk about Smurfs, and we talked about 1981. That's when that one came out. But guys, I think we're getting pretty close to a little break for our audio listeners. Of course, we'll keep hanging out with you here on the Facebook Live if you're joining us there. But let me get to these comments, guys, and then we'll be right back for our audio listeners. Guys, if you're hanging out on Facebook Live, stick with us. All right, guys, we're here. Jack, if you got to take care of some business real quick, go right ahead. I'm going to get to these comments, and then we will see what we got here. Let's see.
Okay, right there.
Keep me honest, double A.
Right there.
Car Kid.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cartoon where the kid turns into a car. Oh, God.
Wow, Joe, that sounds horrible, Joe. I need to find out if that's
Richard
real.
says, I would say Skeletor, Cobra Commander, Momura, Snake Eyes, and Crane.
That's a nice list.
Snake Eyes.
Oh, Snake Eyes on the villains? Richard? Or maybe we mean Storm Shadow. That's a great villain.
Maybe Storm Shadow.
That's a great villain. Yeah. So let's see. Joe says, hate to go back to it, but did you see the villains on Robot Chicken? You got Skeletor.
I got a poster right there where Cobra Commander and Skeletor hanging out.
We got to get a good picture of that one. No, I didn't see that Robot Chicken, Joe, but I love that. I know it's on HBO Max, so I'm going to go look for that one now. Joe also says Mask and the GoBots. Those were the worst, Joe? Would you put them as the worst?
Okay.
Richard agrees. Brave Star was a great, good cartoon. Yeah, we agree. Very solid.
Was good.
Good. Glad you guys like those we mentioned. Joe mentioned the name Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. Joe says foreign animation companies usually. Richard says, what about Dino Riders? That's a good one to talk about. I want to bring that up with Jack when he gets back.
Jessica is a good one.
Let's see here. Jess says, what was the one with Jabberjaw? Oh, did not like that one. Damn, what was that? That was like the Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah,
it might have been a little bit older,
Yeah.
than 80s on Jabberjaw, but I think I do remember what you're talking about. Joe says, I had the Rambo knife. Dope. And Richard, thank you.
Karate Commando.
It was Chuck Norris's Karate Commandos. That's what it was called.
Okay.
And the car was a Corvette, a red Corvette. And
Yeah.
out of the back, you could shoot these little like shurikens that would shoot out or whatever.
Okay.
So this is like a half toy, half cartoon episode. Joe says, thanks, guys. Steve says,
Steve.
thanks, guys. Had a good time.
Steve, that was awesome.
Steve, thank you for joining
Always
us,
love when
Steve.
you're on here.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we love when you're on here. Don't worry, I'm gonna get with Double A about what you and I talked about. And Joe agrees. Karate Commandos was the Chuck Norris one. And he also says, "Go Go Gadget Go." He says, "80s had a couple of Marvel tunes." Yeah, we touched on a couple of those. There might have been a few more, but those are the ones that I got off of the ranker list. Joe also said,
Form like
Voltron, right? And then
Richard, I was going to get into this too.
Okay.
How did you all feel about the movies that were created from the shows?
Let's definitely talk about that when we come back with our audio listeners. Storm Shadow. Great. Hey, Richard, I'm really glad you're hanging out, man. I appreciate it. Where are you from? Are you here from town? Have we met before? Do we know each other? We're always trying to get to know the new Friday Night Faithful members. If you're not already a member of our Facebook group, it's called the Friday Night Faithful. It's for all the fans of the Just Another Friday Night podcast. Please join it, man. And we'd love to have you in there conversating with us about everything. We talk about everything from WandaVision to everything else. So Double A is going to also take care of some business. And we got Jack back. So great. Not Jack Black. We got Jack back.
Yeah, it could be Jack Black.
Jack could be Jack Black. A little too thin, Jackie boy.
A little bit, yeah.
A little too thin, I think.
Yeah.
So, Jack, glad you're back. I was just asking Richard about where he was from. He says here in San Antonio, and he said he heard about this from Nene. Hey, man, great.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Nene is a good friend. You may have seen me in a couple of his videos. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Welcome.
Yeah,
welcome
I love
aboard.
Nene. You show me his videos. He's freaking, dude, Nene, you're freaking hilarious.
Yeah, Nene is a riot, man, for sure. I don't think he sticks around my whole show because he's super busy with his 500,000 followers on TikTok. But Richard is definitely new to the group, so man, we appreciate you being here.
Awesome, dude.
So we got the name. Richard provided us the name. It was Chuck Norris's Karate Commandos.
Oh wow, okay.
And I was just telling Double A that it was a red Corvette. That was the vehicle, and on the back it shot these like gold like shurikens that would shoot out. That was like what it did. And it had like a battering ram.
That sounds familiar to me now.
And you look it up, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. And
right.
I had Chuck Norris, and I had that car.
Right.
But I don't remember buying any of the side characters. And it was like when I had the Rambo toys, I had Rambo, the main bad guy, who came with like these like mirrored glasses on him. I don't know if you remember, and he was like in a blue suit.
Yes, I remember that.
I had those two. Like, if I wasn't going to get them all, I would try to just get like a couple of the main ones so that you could like play.
Sure.
But looks like Double A is back in the house, guys, and I think that we are about to get back into the conversation. Richard had a really great question right here. Jack, read that question over. We want to talk about that when we get back into
some of the movies that were created from the cartoons.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Animated and live.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and Richard said he heard about us from Nene, and he's here from town. He said he's loving the show.
All right,
so we
Richard.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Dude, I think another question. We touched on one earlier, but maybe I don't know if they asked it, but if not, question for them is: they said, "What's the best '80s villain?" Well, who's your favorite '80s good guy?
Oh, that's
I love that one.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah.
We got to go around. We got to go around the table here on that one. So, guys, let me bring us back into the audio recording. Keep the conversation going. And anything else you think of, feel free to comment. Drop it in the comments. We'll get it. We're gonna, no matter what, we'll address the end of the comments at the end of the show anyway.
Guys.
So we'll definitely
put in your comments. Okay?
Yeah, we want to hear it. We love when you get to go read back what you guys had thoughts about what we were talking about.
Yeah, don't think we're ignoring you. We're gonna read them.
No, we're here definitely. Guys, if you're joining us on the audio portion, you're back with us, and we appreciate that. And if you are still with us on Facebook Live, obviously we appreciate that as well. Guys, don't forget, every Friday night we go live, and you can join the conversation, whatever we're talking about for the week. So you kind of become part of the show. So I don't know what other podcast does that, but we're doing that here right now. So we had a great question from Richard, who said, with some of the 80s cartoons, how did y'all feel about the movies that were created from those cartoons? Wait, but before that, also, somebody mentioned Dino Riders.
Oh yeah, I remember Dino Riders.
Yeah, okay. We both didn't remember that one.
I remember Dino Riders.
Would you put it on the worst list?
I put on a mediocre.
Okay. And Richard also had a great villain that we didn't mention from G.I. Joe, Storm Shadow.
Oh yeah,
Probably
that's true. That's a good one. Yeah,
top
for
guys.
sure.
Did
Yeah.
you say? Well, I do have him there. He is watching Cobra Commander's back on that first issue. You see it right there, Jack?
That's a great issue.
You see it? See him right there? He is right behind Cobra Commander,
Definitely.
ready to cut someone's fucking head off.
Yeah, for sure.
If anyone comes close, yeah.
I mean, I think that the Storm Shadow Snake Eyes story in G.I. Joe was
So
one of the
fucking
absolute
good.
best.
Yes.
Everybody thought those ninjas were cool.
It didn't-
Everybody wanted
now,
to be
see,
a ninja.
That's the thing, though. It didn't get explored, though, in the cartoon like the way it is in the comics. In the cartoon, it made it seems like his main rival is Quick Kid.
Yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm
really-
wrong. Anybody here jump in. But Snake Eyes' his real name is like Thomas, right?
Yes, he's an
Yeah.
American.
Now I was
he's a
about
white
to jump
guy.
into
He's
that.
a
Yes.
white guy.
So
Yes.
right, Storm Shadow was
Japanese.
Japanese, but yeah, Snake Eyes was
They served
American.
They
Okay.
served in
Right.
Vietnam. Okay,
Yes.
and
mhm.
This
you
is
know,
good shit.
Snake Eyes loses his family,
Right.
and Storm Shadow invites him back to Japan. Come
Right.
back with me,
Mhm.
train with me,
Yep.
study with me.
That's dope.
He becomes a better student than Storm Shadow does. He becomes
Yes.
a much better karate master than
Right.
Storm Shadow, and they
Feels a
start.
little gentrified. I don't like
They
that.
started. They started favoring Snake Eyes
Yes.
over Storm Shadow.
Right.
And then Zartan enters the picture. That gets all fucked up. You find out it's Cobra Commander. It sends Zartan. The rivalry basically comes from a misunderstanding from Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow's part. Storm Shadow ends up working with Cobra Commander while Snake Eyes goes back home and joins the
Joes.
G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you know what? I mean, to that, it's that, but that's a good part of that whole like 80s thing, because again, the 80s was focusing. Everybody came from Vietnam, had just finished up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Definitely. So when you look at that, they wanted to say good versus bad. Good's going to always prevail. So they had to make sure that, hey, these two guys, while they were friends, we got to make one of them a good and one of them a bad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so let's separate them because of this narrative. You know?
But isn't it funny though that for Snake Eyes' attire, it's black?
I was
Yes,
just about to
right,
say
Storm
exactly.
Shadow
It's
is
white.
white.
the
Yeah,
classic
right.
opposites.
Right,
there,
opposites, right,
In the old cowboy movies, you had the white hat was represented the
But it was
the
the good
guy, right.
and the black hat. The
But
bad
then
guy.
they have the same tattoo right
Yes,
here.
right,
Now,
exactly.
that's
Where
from
they
the
serve.
Yes.
Harkaraji.
Yes, where they served in
Our
the same
Karaji.
dojo.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Friday Nighter Bobby Sauceda, who's over at Toy Matrix in Traders Village, would definitely know the correct pronunciation of that, as I often get it incorrect there.
Yeah.
Use that Just Another Friday Night podcast bottle opener right there, guys. We're going to get those up on the Deuces Mercado website here soon, we hope.
Very nice.
We're kind of branded over 3 different places
But
right now.
CM, how much in Jack too? How much did Vietnam kind of come into play
Oh yeah,
for
Yeah.
this, right?
I-
I mean,
I think
Vietnam
definitely
was
a
still
lot.
very fresh.
Yeah.
And you have like the G.I. Joe, where like Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow both served in Vietnam.
Yeah.
you know?
You got to think about it, right? Let's think about, we're talking about the 80s, right? So the guys that got back from Nam in the 70s, they're probably,
Yeah.
these are their kids
Yeah.
watching these 80s
Yeah.
cartoons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit older than we would
But
have been
even
at the
maybe
time.
some of the creators maybe served.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
Larry
Good
Hamill
point.
was a
Good point.
soldier.
For sure.
Yeah,
You know,
Good point.
so
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Larry Hamill being a soldier. So that's very,
Yeah.
very true on that one. What was the other question that we had? Oh, Jack, your question. Are we proposing that to the audience? And
Yeah.
then we'll go around the table
Right.
here. Somebody asked us who was the best 80s villain in 80s cartoons, but Jack put forth the question, who was the best 80s hero in 80s cartoons? And we want to hear your answers, but we're going to definitely go around the table here. Jack, you start us off.
So naturally, you don't think I would say Optimus Prime.
I absolutely would think you would say
However,
that. But that's not a bad
the
answer.
No,
That's a
but it's
fucking
not.
answer.
I'm going to tell you why. I don't pick Optimus Prime because I'm going to tell you why. Prime, similar to Goku, right? They weren't ready to kill, right? They weren't. They were like, no, we can't do that. Bullshit, right? When the time comes, you have to fucking kill. That's why Prime died in the movie, because he just was like, he was too trusting.
Mhm.
So that's why I don't put Prime as my favorite, right?
Okay.
Or as my number one.
okay.
I think for my number one, I'm probably going to go with, I don't know, I'm thinking probably Lion-O. is probably my number one.
Oh, that's a great,
Yeah,
great
that's my
pick.
number one.
I thought you were going to say Papa Smurf.
Man, Papa Smurf, yeah. It's been I don't know. Again, we talked about pedals earlier in that cartoon. I think he might have been one too. But Yeah. So no,
Hey,
I'm
he's the
putting
one that
mine.
laid all his kids himself. So.
Well, that's right. Because think about it again, and we're kind of going off topic here, but one female Smurf and all these male fucking Smurfs. And Smurfette was always with Papa Smurf. Come on, man. I'm just saying.
Well, Gargamel's the one that made her, so we don't know how
Well,
the hell
that's
the
true.
Smurfs
That
came
is true.
about,
Yeah, you're right.
so-
You're right.
You know what? Which maybe we need to put that under Gargamel, under cunning villains, because what better way to tempt the man? He's like, let me introduce this
Yeah, the
aspect,
female.
and he's like,
Right.
now they're all falling all over her,
That's
like
true.
not thinking straight.
That is true.
Speaking of all the things about Smurfs, what about the thing? Have you guys heard about how they all wore the white hats?
Yes.
Except Papa Smurf wore the red hat,
Yes.
the kind of Ku Klux Klan grand
He was a
leader.
KKK grandmother.
Jesus,
Oh,
man. I mean, where do people come up with this shit
I
on
know.
Reddit?
I don't either.
I don't think we really. Okay, let's go around the room.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go He-Man. Again,
Okay.
I would just feel super safe with fucking He-Man. And I get strongest man in the universe. I mean, he can kick ass. He's not afraid of Skeletor. He's not afraid to get fucking wet with Merman. He's
Yeah.
not afraid to
Okay,
get
good
hairy
point.
with Beastman. You know, he'll fucking trap dog's fucking mouth. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
great
golly, he's a sword fighter. He knows
Yeah.
how to fight with swords. He knows
Right.
how to fight with his fists.
Wow.
He has a big ass battle cat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, how'd you go, He-Man?
Good point. Okay. Yeah, I like that one.
I like He-Man a lot. That would maybe would have been my number one as well. But I think I would probably go Optimus Prime. I did not think about what you said about the not killing thing, but I felt like he
Optimus
always,
is such a great leader.
yeah, and he always did seem that he, to his fault, put humans first.
Yeah.
So
No, you're
another
right.
to thinking about Double A's point about being safe, I think that he would do everything he could to protect me, maybe even put me inside. of him.
Which he did quite a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that
for
would
sure.
be, that would be something I would be like, all right, you know what I mean? And it's a big robot, and he was a very skilled fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to be the voice that's like, no, kill
Yeah.
Prime,
Right in his
kill.
ear.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm
Sucks.
like,
Kill him. Fuck him.
shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great question, Jack. I like that one, guys. What do you think? Who was the best '80s cartoon
It's a
hero?
Brave Star.
No one.
Yeah.
We haven't really given any of the Joe good guys a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
credit.
a Duke.
Yeah. Dude.
Is it
I
Snake
liked
Eyes?
Gung Ho a lot because he was
Yeah,
a Marine
Gung
like
Ho.
my dad.
Is it Flint?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Is
Yeah.
it General Hawk?
Roadblock.
I had
What
his
about
too.
Roadblock?
Yeah, really.
He was good at rhyming.
Yeah.
John Friday Night or Holtzy Bear is a huge fan of the Sailor one
Oh, what was his name?
with
Oh,
the
man.
parrot. And he's
Yeah,
always
with the
giving me
parrot.
shit.
Yeah, he was a sailor. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Shipwreck.
Shit.
Shipwreck.
Shipwreck. Yeah, there you go. Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shipwreck.
yeah. John also liked the bazooka. Who wore the
Oh yeah,
football
Bazooka.
jersey.
Yeah, that's right.
Guys, I don't think we really addressed Richard's question though. Let's talk about it. What about the '80s cartoons that got made into movies?
Yes,
Which
and
ones
there was
sucked?
a
Which
lot of
ones
them.
were great?
Obviously, we got a Masters movie. We got a whole Transformers franchise.
Yeah.
We got
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
we got
Turtles,
Turtles.
yeah.
We got Joe's. We got two Joe movies.
Now we didn't get those in live action until much later.
No, but still,
Right.
I mean, they were adapted from these 80s
Yeah.
cartoons.
Right, yeah.
No,
exactly.
for sure. So let's run it down. Transformers and G.I. Joe, they were the first one to do like feature length movies. They were
Yeah.
animated,
Mhm.
but they got big stars. Leonard
Right.
Nimoy on one side, and you've got Don Johnson on the other
Yep.
side. You've got primary characters going down. The use of swear words. I mean, we see
Yes.
Prime go down in like the first 15 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you've got like introduction of Hot Rod, and then the Joe one. You've got
Duke almost dying.
yeah,
Yeah.
Duke almost dying right away. Also, kind of I don't know who followed who.
You got Cobra Commander almost transforming into. Well, he does
He
transform
transforms
into
into
a
a
whole
snake.
snake.
Yeah.
You get the introduction Serpentor, Nemesis Enforcer, and then you've got Sergeant Slaughter in that great ass fight. That's a
Yeah.
fight that really rivals the Prime and Megatron
Yeah.
one. But you've got stepping up is Falcon, right? Falcon is who
yeah.
steps up. That's voiced by Don Johnson,
Duke's brother.
who's at the height of Miami Vice fame at the
that
time.
point, yes.
But guys, they were not dumb. They knew that like these toys and shit are selling like hotcakes to these kids, and they're like, yeah, let me get in on that. Leonard Nimoy, who is like still probably right off of Star Trek money.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know what I mean? They're doing
yeah,
the
because
movies
the
at that
movies,
time. Yeah,
the
the
movies
movies.
are coming out. Yeah.
So they were the first ones to do that, right? But I feel like we didn't get those live action movies till after we had already got Masters of the Universe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What was the other one? I feel
You
like
got Joe's, you got the Transformers
yeah.
franchise.
And those came out like so. When you talk about the Transformers, the movie, the original '86 movie, came out just a couple of years after the cartoon first came out.
Okay.
But
okay.
we're talking about live action, like real
yeah.
life. Yeah, that came out well into the 2000s.
Which made sense because you needed the technology to do a movie like that.
But still, who would have knew a Transformers movie would be big though in 2000 something? Who would have thought? You know what? There's still enough kids that grew up that still carried that love. Of Transformers. It was the kind of a big risk, but it paid off. It really did.
And if I go to those movies, I mean, I think
Jack, we all went to
see the first one, right? Yeah, and it was great hearing Peter Cullen prime again. It was like, what the fuck? It was like you transform back to being a child again.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it just they look like shit. If I'm being honest,
they do. But you know what? Overseas, they loved it a lot,
yes,
and
they did.
Pushed it into billion-dollar franchise.
Right, exactly.
Where the movie was going to be profitable.
Right.
Now, that first one I would say is really good. The rest do fall off.
Yeah,
but
for
that
sure.
first one was really good.
It was.
I didn't like the designs.
No. It
I
was a
didn't like
nostalgia
Megatron's
factor, I think.
design.
No, definitely not.
Of the best looking, I would say would be Prime. But when the face guard was up, because I was like, why did they even give him
lips? Right, yeah. Why is it fucking lips?
I like when the guard moved up and down.
What about the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie? Man, that one is so good.
I love that one.
Okay,
I love that one.
So I can remember seeing it as a kid, and not initially liking the differences.
Holy shit!
I liked the movie. I loved the movie even as a kid. What I didn't like is I was like, wait, that's not how he was. Splinter wasn't a rat. He was a man that became. I remember not liking the differences, and I felt the same way about
the origin story.
Yeah,
okay.
I felt the same way about Masters of the Universe, but I liked them as a movie. I liked them as I understood them as a movie. So I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. By this time, already my sister is she's 5 years younger than me, but we're already I'm showing her the things that I like or whatever. Really loved it. We quote that movie to this day. I love the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I love that one too.
Movie. Fantastic movie.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the Michael Bay ones. I think they actually capture the spirit of that 80s cartoon.
Interesting.
Especially part 2, because when they introduced Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah, true.
You don't know how much I enjoyed just seeing finally Bebop and Rocksteady in the fucking movie.
Yeah, that is true.
Cool. Because they had those 2 knockoffs.
Yeah.
In part 2.
Toka and Razor.
Yeah. I was like, who are these?
Yeah.
I was like, where's Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yeah, that is true.
So actually seeing Bebop and Rocksteady in Michael Bay's part 2,
that's rad.
Blues,
that's a smart move.
I was like, finally.
Yeah.
So.
And I will say this, I will give those Hollywood producers the credit where they were realizing that hey, this generation grew up, and guess what? Now they're gonna A, want to share this with their kids, but B, they're gonna want to go and get nostalgic up in the theater.
And then I threw this up a few months ago about guilty pleasures. I love Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren, you couldn't have asked for a better He-Man.
Yes,
that dude was
big, right?
First off, he's 6'7", but then he looks even more pumped up than what he did in Rocky Part 4.
And Rocky, he looked like a fucking beast.
Yeah, and he looks more pumped in this one. Now, what I didn't like, obviously, is the things obviously him using a gun. That kind of stuff.
There even being blasters. I'm like,
this is
very Star Warsy.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is this the whole story just seemed off. I didn't know who a lot of those characters were besides Beastman. I didn't know who that sword guy was.
Blade.
I didn't know.
They called him Blade.
I didn't know who that ugly alien dude was with the long white hair. I didn't know that, but Skeletor looked cool.
Franklin Gilla was fantastic. Skeletor.
I forget her name. The one who plays Evil Lynn, she just looked perfect.
Her eyes, those eyes, man.
She was perfect as Evil Lynn. I loved her as Evil Lynn.
Yeah. Wildor.
I know he kind of replaced. It was kind of the replacement for
Orko.
Orko.
Orko, right?
Yeah. And isn't it also? Is it what's his name? Our guy we love from
Work? No, I don't think
it's not. It's not him. Okay, my bad. My bad.
No, I don't think it is. I could be wrong. Somebody tell me who plays
Wildor in Masters.
But I like Franklin Gilla. I like Dolph Lundgren as He-Man. They were going for more Star Wars feel.
Yeah, definitely. The way the bad guys look, the soldier suits and all that.
Yeah, because you lose everything that you love in Masters, but I don't know what it is. It's something about that movie. Even when he is like, I have the power.
That was dope.
Yeah.
I can remember
goosebumps scene.
Yeah, I can remember seeing that as a kid also with my dad in the movie theater. I wanted to sit close because at the time I didn't realize you don't want to be too close. But when they when He-Man and Skeletor are fighting and they clash weapons, and
which
like
we just did, and we see like our pre-show.
Yeah, that bright light. Let this be our final battle.
Yes.
You know, I was like, oh, this is it. Like this is the end.
Right.
I mean, I was like blown away. Even though I was like kind of like, you're like, who are these people? Why does Tila look like that?
No, but
Yeah.
you get a He-Man and Skeletor battle. You're like, shit, you finally get to see it.
Yes.
And then at the end, when Courtney Cox is seeing the little ball, you see, him doing that. But you see Castle Grayskull too. In the back, you're like, oh,
yeah,
Castle Grayskull. And then after the credits, pre-Marvel, way before Marvel, you have Skeletor rising from the lava.
That's
it's like, and you're like, holy shit, he's not dead.
Sequel setup that we never got.
Which we still
but
could.
that is like one of my guilty pleasures. I love Masters of the Universe. I love that movie. Again, I can't think of a better guy than Dolph Lundgren at the time for He-Man.
Totally. Chuck, where do you feel on Masters and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I mean, same. I'm with AA. I love both of those. Part one, and I did like part two too. A lot of people gave it hate, but I like part two. Now when we get to
Vanilla Ice one, right?
Right.
Yeah, I liked it. I like that one.
When we get to Turtles in Time
too.
Yeah. When we get to part three, I'm like,
that got
a little silly. Right?
So here's something that I felt. Maybe you guys can help me out. So I always felt like part one kind of focused on Raph. It was his journey, right? Part two kind of focused on Donatello with the ooze. He was kind of like lost. Part three with Turtles in Time, from what I remember, was more about Mikey. It was kind of Mikey centric. But we never got like the Leonardo one, who was my favorite. Here you guys have the guy with two katanas that, when Shredder whips their ass in that first one on the top of the building, it's like flawless. Like it's like he whips their ass without batting an eye. It was like easy peasy. And I'm like, man, these guys got fucking like sharp weapons, and you just beating them there with the little spear. Like,
but then again, remember, he is a master.
Right.
They're students. Regardless of how much they were trained by Splinter, he's still a master in his own right. Like Splinter will whoop their ass.
Oh yeah,
he did the same thing,
And that looked cool too. The helmet, they did make the helmet on the Shredder look cool, and they gave him the kind of the iconic,
the
gauntlets.
Gauntlets, right? With
so,
guys,
the one.
Oh, go ahead. No, go
I was just gonna say the one movie that I wish they would have, and they started to, and then they canceled it. Would have been a Thundercats movie, like a live action Thundercats.
Out of what we talked about, which Ranker says is the number one 80s cartoon.
Yeah,
we've never gotten
a movie.
We never even got an animated movie.
Right. No, exactly.
I mean, and I've heard it been in litigation hell, and it's been tossed around. I don't know who owns the rights. If someone out there knows, please let us know. Where is Thundercats? Is it going to come? Will they do it? Now we have all the tech to do it, right?
Yeah, we definitely, because think about it, right?
Now.
Kevin Smith is going to be doing He-Man again.
Of the Universe,
Masters of the Universe.
It's about to come out.
So I'm like, let's jump back onto the Thundercats, because again, when we talked about earlier, AA it's fucking cool. We have these cat humanoids. I mean, it was a fucking great, like, just
it is. It's a good story.
Yeah, story, right? It is. So
very cool.
Either let's progress that cartoon, or let's make a live action movie.
Are you guys okay with what happened with the
done
movie
right?
Cats?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know what? I'm excited for it, but I was also excited too. You remember when 300 came out? And not too long after that, they said they were going to do a new Masters, and it was going to be in the same vein as 300.
Oh,
wow.
Have
like the same look.
Yeah.
I was like super excited about that.
That would have been outstanding.
Man, get that scenery, that imagery of 300, but with Masters of the Universe.
Where it's not quite animated, but it looks, I think
all that CGI, they could have done an amazing job for sure.
Awesome.
And something like Thundercats, where you don't really know how that would look, that would be perfect. It would look good in that kind of environment, I think. So
I think if the Kevin Smith Masters does well, they may end up figuring out, like, hey, we're going to do a live action movie. Right? Because it's been too long now to go back and say, let's do another live action for He-Man. Yeah. But him rebooting it, and not even reboot, because it's taking place right after the initial.
Yeah, it is.
Right. The initial 80s cartoon. He's just going right onto it. So I think if that does well, maybe they could do a live action of Masters.
I mean, I'd be happy to see it again. I mean, now we've got a whole mess of new actors, so you can see different people cast. And we missed in the initial Masters, where it was like, well, you take that out. Maybe you take out the Courtney Cox element and all that bullshit.
Hey, you take out the humans.
And I'm going way off.
Place on Earth.
Put it on Eternia.
Right.
Do it right.
Yes.
I mean, I think so.
I'm going way off here of this whole topic, but who is your He-Man for the new, if they were to do a new live action.
I don't know.
That's tough.
Honestly, I think I'm going to go with.
I know who you're going to say.
Who are you going to say? Who
Chris Hemsworth.
Yes, that's
Chris
what I'm going with.
Hemsworth is
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing
I
Hogan
didn't
now,
even
and
think
he's
about
jacked.
that.
Like, he's
Yeah.
jacked. Yeah, that's my
would be
guy.
Perfect.
I would
Yeah,
love that.
that's what I'm going with him.
And I would be
Oh,
like,
shit.
use your regular voice, man. I mean,
Yeah, that's it.
you know,
Yeah.
he'd be
Yeah.
great. He'd be
That'd
sick.
be, yeah. that
That,
would be
I've
good.
thought about this.
Yeah, nice. Good, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But
But
I,
y'all's wizard casting.
there you go.
There you go.
Have you guys seen the great, like, it's like a foreign commercial, but it's pretty much like He-Man and Skeletor have a dance-off.
What?
I'm sure you guys have
Oh,
seen
is
it.
No.
that big?
Yeah, that big guy, yeah.
Fucking huge Jack dude.
I've never seen it.
More
Wow.
important, more
Okay.
important
Jack,
is the way
yeah.
the way the
Look that up.
Skeletor looks. Jack,
Yeah.
these look like someone reached in a cartoon and ripped him out
Really?
and made him live action. And the Skeletor, the He-Man is impressive, but the Skeletor, I'm like, that looks fucking
Wow.
pretty badass with the
That
good
is
skin
big,
and
yeah.
buff. And they're like dancing. I don't know what the commercial's about. Somebody pop me a link in here. I know you guys got my back. It's really, really funny, but it's just, it's essentially about them becoming friends, whatever the story was in the commercial. But I just was like, I remember my first thought, that looks really fucking good. People that say that wouldn't translate, because
Right.
this art that
Yeah.
AA has back
Yeah.
here, if
Yeah.
you make them look like that,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like,
I want to say Dave Wilkins used models.
Yeah.
Because that dude looks too much like a real.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, like a
Yeah.
real life dude.
he's
Yeah,
in the
for
power
sure.
suit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they look great. A
Yeah.
movie that looked like that, sign me the fuck up. I'm
Yeah.
first in
Yeah,
line.
for
I
sure.
mean,
Right.
I need to
Agree.
see He-Man swinging that shape power sword,
Yeah.
that axe.
Yeah.
It would be, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
But the Thundercats, though, definitely they need their moment in the sun. I always loved the cartoon. The story was great. Just imagine to see Lion-O pulling up the sword, all that stuff. I mean, that would be.
You know, the
awesome.
cool thing is there's, if you go to YouTube and just search, there's a lot of fan made movies,
nice.
Thundercats
Okay.
that look fucking amazing. I'm
Really?
like, if they could do that, like you assholes in Hollywood could definitely make a fucking badass.
Are they
Thundercat.
using actors or are they CGI or are they
It's,
made?
CG, it's
made
like
up?
kind of CGI
Okay.
mixed with like whoever's acting it.
I would just love to see one Thundercat. Get a guy, make him up, get these Walking Dead makeup artists,
Yeah.
have them go to town on them, and make them look really badass. And it's gonna look fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, everything is there now. It's the one of the properties we all mentioned that'll be the top 5. You gotta not deny those are top 5
Right.
that hasn't been done. Why
Exactly.
not? The Thundercats is ripe for it. I feel like those fans are pretty rabid. I mean, you got a between $450 and $600 fucking
Yeah. Fucking
tank coming
yeah.
out, and it's gonna sell. So
And
you know,
doing the when you think about like Eternia, right? I would probably put that more towards like maybe Lord of the Rings kind of look to
Mhm.
the world, right? Or even Lord of the Rings. Really, I think about
Yeah,
that. I'm like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
they've done that. You did the same thing with Eternia,
They can,
with
yeah.
Third Earth, right? And you can
Mhm.
have that same look. So it's there.
Yeah, Mordor.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
just
Mordor.
right. Yeah,
how the things to the orcs.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So let's just put that into doing a Thundercats, and man, you got it.
One of the things I liked that I heard Kevin Smith say about the new Masters of the Universe was that, he said, he goes, I don't want to say this because I don't want people to think it's going to be like that because I would never put myself at that level. He goes, but we want to tell Game of Thrones style stories
Yes.
with these characters. And in my mind, I'm like, that's the perfect way to do that. That's how you
Yeah.
approach Eternia, the way you approach Game of Thrones.
Right.
And it's all about the kind of the character development, the kind of things we said were lacking from maybe like Dragon Ball, where you don't really build up Piccolo or Vegeta or characters that are interesting and dynamic. You don't do more with them. You
Right.
do more with them in when you're trying to make a successful show. You do more with Evelyn, more with Man at Arms, more with
Right.
Tila, and it's going to be great. You know what I mean? Orko and all that too. So
Yeah, you have to build up those sub characters because if you just focus just on your main two, great. But I mean, I'm more vested in those sub characters. What are they doing?
Right.
You know?
right, what the sum of the parts make the greater whole. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for
So
sure.
it's like, yeah, sure,
Right.
it mainly follows He-Man, and you want to see that. But I'm imagining this new cartoon, it's not going to be every time He-Man versus Skeletor's goons,
Right.
and then they fight it out at the end, and then there's like a little bit
And
of
see,
more.
Merman could be really cool in the
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah.
Underwater creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beastman could be really cool. Trapjaw could be really
Yeah.
cool if he really did it. And Evil Lynn could just be scary.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
She could be the puppet master behind the scenes.
Right.
Almost.
Meg Foster, like I said, I
Excuse me.
can't talk highly of her, of how great of a job she did as Evil Lynn
Right.
in the Masters of the Universe movie. She was scary. She seemed intimidating. She seemed like his real number 2 person.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I mean,
because
Nick
I think
Foster
about
did a
like
great job.
the Seven, right? How that one's played out, like that story writing. Yeah, they focused on the main, but then they also give you a lot of the other ones too.
Yeah.
You're referring to
So-
the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the boys
yeah,
from the
definitely.
Seven,
No, no,
right?
no,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right. So
For
they're
sure.
really kind of going into each character and
Great-
just showing you that. Yeah,
Great
so
example.
that kind of writing to go into that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because these are sometimes characters that otherwise would not be that interesting, but
Right.
again, as part of the whole, when you got a story of like A-Train and the boys,
Right.
you do that with something like, what are Beastman's origins or
Right.
what are Merman's
Yeah.
origins?
Yeah.
I mean, like you could definitely do that. In fact, I know it's been discussed, I think, in the comic books of He-Man, but I never knew how Skeletor kind of became Skeletor
Oh, yeah,
because
right.
he
It's
looked
pretty
like a man.
brutal.
Yeah,
And
it
that's
is very
what's
brutal.
pretty cool about the 02 version cartoon is that they show that.
Yes, they do.
They show
Right.
how Skeletor became Skeletor,
Mhm.
so it's pretty cool. Real quick, what did you guys think of the two Joe movies? I wasn't a fan of the first one, but I really liked the second one.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't like the Cobra Commander in the first one. That
I
one
didn't like it
truly
either.
sucked. But in the second one, it looked fantastic. In fact, looked kind of like the figure.
I liked Rock as Roadblock.
Yeah,
I
that was great.
I like that he took charge.
That was great.
I liked how they introduced Flint and Lady J.
Yeah.
I've always liked the Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes that they had in
They
both
looked
movies.
amazing. They
Yeah.
they got that. Whoever production designed or costume designed and looked and they were like, this is what they look like in the comic book or the cartoon. And this, they were like, oh, I got you. And they
Yeah.
made it look.
And it's funny because I
Fucking
didn't
great.
like Channing Tatum in the first one, but I liked him in the second one.
Yeah.
And that's where he died.
Yeah, yeah. And I did like him in the first
So
one.
because I didn't like the first one at all, I never watched the second
The
one.
Okay.
second one's actually a lot
Is it
better.
okay? Yeah,
The
'cause I never
Rock,
watched the second.
The Rock takes more charge, and
Wow.
Bruce Willis is in it.
And
Wow,
Cobra
no
Commander's
shit.
in the actual Cobra Commander.
And like
Oh, wow.
I said,
Okay.
Storm
Alright.
Shadow's
Okay.
just so much
I'm
cooler.
gonna have to go
Snake
back and
Eyes
watch
is so
that
much
then.
cooler.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
That one does just a big old improvement on the first one.
Wow. Okay.
A lot.
Yeah, because the first one I was like, this is shit.
Firefly's in there.
Okay. All right.
There are
Yeah.
movies that like I don't hate, but I also don't love. I don't own. I don't ever say, I feel like watching the Jojo,
Right,
the first
right,
one or whatever. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
I would be giving them
But-
another chance off of this conversation.
You know what's cool though? In the second one, they show where like in the White House, they have like a cool scene where like the Cobra flags come down on the
Really?
White
I
House.
do remember that.
man.
That was
In fact-
pretty
Yes,
fucking
man, that's
cool.
badass.
In
Yeah.
fact, I had a T-shirt of
Did
that
you?
for a while because I just thought
Oh,
that scene
nice.
looked so iconic.
It is.
I don't know
It
where
is
the hell
cool.
it is now.
They just show the banners rolling down on
Man,
the White
that's fucking
House. I was
badass.
like,
Yeah,
ooh.
at that
Yeah.
point, that's a
Yeah,
very
that's
cool.
fucking badass.
Yeah.
Worth watching
Wow.
maybe for that.
Okay,
that
yeah, I
alone.
definitely got to watch that.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're getting near probably the end of the line here. We're going to go ahead and close out this part of the audio. Take this time to read some comments, and then we'll come right back and we'll wrap it all up. So if you're listening to us on audio, we'll be back in less than a second. Guys, if you're hanging out with us on Facebook Live, we really appreciate you being here and hanging out. And it looks like the comments have filled up. So I'm going to scroll up. We're going to start reading, and we're going to try to address everything that you've talked about since then. So let's see here.
About right there.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Okay, guys, go ahead. Take it.
Go Gadget, go. Okay, yeah.
Let me see. Right here.
Go down a little bit.
Sorry.
Tell me when.
I heard about this from.
Oh, awesome. That Richard's telling us.
Joe says who's everyone's favorite GI Joe.
Okay, let's go around the table on now. And Double A, you want to start us
Snake
off?
Eyes.
Yeah, same. Snake Eyes. If I'm talking about Joe, Snake Eyes.
I probably would say Gung Ho because he was a Marine like my dad.
Nice.
So I thought that was
Nice.
cool. But I do like Snake Eyes quite a bit. Let's see. Richard says tough one. I would say Optimus Prime and then Lion-O on the good ones. Great choices.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Joe says, yeah, I got my bottle opener. Joe, glad you got that. Got that when we met last week on Friday. Richard says, what cartoon would you like to see a reboot of? I mean, because these have all been rebooted.
Yeah, they've done
so-
Transformers. They've done Joe. Well,
I'm gonna. If I would go first, if you guys don't mind,
go ahead.
I would love to see them redo Silverhawks. I would like to see what they could do with that now. If they could make it maybe like more like a animated type style. Richard,
I'd like to see Brave Star.
Yeah,
Brave Star?
it's a great choice. We're kind of pulling from the mid Carters on up, but Jack, I want to hear your pick. Let's see what else we got here in the comments here. Joe says Lion-O, good Smurfing pick.
Yeah.
I think he's referring to that. Richard says, okay. You still thinking about your reboot?
So for me, reboot, even though they've already done a reboot, but I want to see, again, Thundercats, but not that same way. I want to see it kind of the way it was back then because they were teens in this reboot.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to see them more as adults. So that's my pick.
Back to adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one. That's a great one. You know, so definitely, I feel that because there's been enough of the other ones. Let me ask you something, Jack. While we're on that subject, out of all of the multiple Transformer reboots, which was your favorite? Because I watched a little bit of Prime, and I liked it, where it was kind of more like that 3D-ish.
Yeah.
Mine was Energon.
Okay.
I think that was mine.
I'm always amazed how much people would love Beast Wars. People really
Beast
love
Wars
Beast
picked
Wars.
up a lot.
I
It was
never,
cool.
yeah.
I never cared for Beast
I
Wars.
watched a little bit of it, and I thought it was kind of
Yeah.
cool. It was a different take. You know what I mean?
I guess I just didn't like that animation at the time, you know, because I grew up watching the G1 animation. So the one that I like is it was Transformers animated, which is more. It was more geared towards like young kids, but as an adult, I liked. I was like, wow, I did like the Transformer animated for me.
Okay, good answer. So, Richard, man, killing it with the great questions tonight, Rich. We appreciate that, man. He says, out of the Ninja Turtles, which one did you think was the best? If you had to choose one for whatever reason.
Leonardo. He's
What's
always
your
the one
reason?
that focus.
Yeah.
Just he always seemed to know. He always seemed to know the mission. You know, where Raph was always a hothead.
Mhm.
Donnie was more just a brain. He was never
Mhm.
really the fighter. Mikey was the one that was
Having
just like
fun.
Having
comedy.
too much fun, yeah.
Leo was the one that, you know, if I had to pick one of them to go into battle with me, it'd be Leonardo.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, Leo was my pick too because a great leader, and sometimes it's like you
Now,
need
my personal
someone to
favorite
fight.
is Donatello,
Right, mine
but if I had to pick, it'd be Leo to go.
If I had to
into
pick,
battle.
it'd be Leo, and for me, which was I think was the best, and also if I had to choose one for whatever reason, it would also still be Leo
Nice.
for leadership, and that
Nice.
also is my favorite turtle. So, Jack.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got Leo for the fact what you said, Double A, about him just being that leader type, right? But my favorite is Donnie, and also my favorite in the video game was Donnie because that bow staff
Yeah.
gave you length.
A lot of
So,
range,
right, yeah.
right? The hits, yeah.
I never picked. Raph was my last one because I'm like, you got that little
The
side, it's
side,
like right there. I'm like, no, that
You're
was my
too
last
close to me
Yeah,
already.
no.
Yeah.
pick. Right, definitely. So yeah,
You talking about the old NES one,
yeah.
or the
Well,
big-
even
the
all
big
of them,
four-player?
any of them.
The staff was the deadliest.
Yeah,
That
it
thing
was.
You whacking the shit out of people.
Even though when you think about it, really the katanas are the deadliest because they're gonna slice you. The staff
Yeah.
will hit you, but the katana's gonna cut the shit out
Well,
of you.
Leo never stabbed anybody in
No,
his
he didn't.
entire career of having
Right,
a sword.
Right.
So Joe says Michelangelo is always his favorite.
All right,
He says-
Yeah, because he was the class clown, if you will. Yeah.
yeah, and I know a lot of people were huge Michelangelo fans
Yes,
because
for
he was
sure.
the fun. He was the
Right,
fun one. You know what I
right.
mean? Joe says Turtles was probably the best movie.
Okay.
That probably is a pretty solid.
I would
statement
say so.
that
Yeah.
I want to own. That
I
I
would
go
say so.
back to.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I watch it more than Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
and
Yeah.
Definitely out of any of the new.
Yeah, I would say so.
Transformers.
I love
or
going back
Jojo.
to the Turtles movie and looking for all the fuck ups. Like there's one scene, I don't know if y'all know, but there's one scene, and I can't remember if it was, I want to say it was Roth.
Yeah.
Where you can actually see the voice actor's face through his fucking mouth.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Yeah. So
Oh, shit.
I like to go back and watch them and see if I can catch all the fuck ups in the movies.
I mean, I literally quote the part when Splinter's talking to Danny when he's chained up all the time about
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
all fathers care for their sons.
Yes.
And I get all emotional.
Right, yeah.
I cry.
There you go, Joe. Another
That's
movie
right.
that TM gets emotional about.
Let's see. Richard says, bad thing about He-Man is he wasn't able to take so many hits without going back to the Prince.
Oh.
Oh, I don't remember
Wow,
that.
I don't remember
Okay.
that either. Yeah,
That's
that's
a deep
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very
Okay.
I
good.
remember that.
Which you know, I mean, not to keep going on that, but maybe that makes sense because remember,
Wow.
he got the power from the sword. So what if like that power wore off over time? You know?
That's
Okay.
interesting too.
Yeah.
And because too, forsaking all others, He-Man was very Superman-esque, where it was like
Yes.
pretty much was unbeatable.
Yeah,
No one
right.
matched him in strength and power. Once he was in He-Man mode, it was like
Yeah,
get
that's
out
it.
the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To
Like,
the point to where they even made a He-Man versus Superman
Yeah.
figure, a
Comic.
two-pack.
Nice.
Yeah,
Comic
comic
too.
and a toy,
Yeah.
right?
who
Yeah,
has
comic.
it? You have that?
right. No, but
Oh,
I remember seeing it, so I didn't pick it up. So like, man,
Off
I
to
don't know.
Amazon afterwards. Here
Yeah.
we go. So Joe says part 2 of
Which
Teenage
one?
Mutant Ninja Turtles
Which
was
one,
good.
Joe? What part two? The
Secret
original
of the
one
Use?
or the new one?
Joe, we need a little clarification on that.
Yeah,
Big
'cause
dog.
Secret of the Use was the original part 2.
Joe says Dolph Lundgren did Masters of the Universe
Masters
and
and
Punisher.
Punisher,
Yeah,
yeah.
that Punisher movie is not bad. Richard says
Billy Barty.
Billy Barty. I had to look that one up. I don't know. What
Yeah, I
Billy
forgot what
Barty
question
is.
we asked at that point.
Yeah. And Richard also says, I thought they were going to make a part 2 of Masters. Yeah, I think
We
we all,
thought so
we all
too.
kind
Yeah,
of
for
thought
sure.
that. That would have
Right.
been really, really rad.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, I guess maybe that first one didn't do great.
No, it
Yeah,
didn't.
It didn't.
No, not at all.
Yeah, which sucks because you would think that all the He-Man fans would have blown it up like the first couple
Right.
of
It
weeks.
was already
but-
too late by that.
It
right?
was, yeah,
right,
definitely.
yeah.
You're right.
Joe says, I remember Turtles coming out with a pay-per-view special.
Yes. Okay, so if I remember you correctly, that was later on in the 2000, I want to say like 2010 era, where they actually had. Remember, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, Richard, is when they put like the 90s Turtles with the black and white Turtles with the newer Turtles. It was like that whole mashup.
That was
of
a
them.
great
Remember that one?
Yes.
I
But that wasn't a pay-per-view special.
No?
The one when I saw it, it was on regular TV.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool, though.
If you're selling
Yeah,
your
that
shit on
was
pay-per-view, that's pretty fucking.
Yeah,
that was
because
pretty.
that's
That was a
what I
good
could think
episode.
of. That was a great episode. I love
That
that one.
was,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
I love these executives sitting around saying, like, the parents are going to buy it.
They're gonna
Put it on
they're telling them
pay-per-view.
to.
Put $39.99, damn
Right?
it.
Yeah. Fuck them.
I
Yeah.
will tell you this. What I did have was when the Ninja Turtles were teamed up with Pizza Hut for a time.
Yes, I remember
made
that.
Sense.
It makes sense.
They released a cassette tape, and
Yes.
I had the
did,
cassette tape,
yeah.
and I would jam
Yeah.
out to the Ninja Turtles, whoever it was doing the actual
Right.
singing, and I would just be like, "Man, this is a great album."
Yeah. They said who
It
made
was
that
a
for
great.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great album. I
Yes.
thought it deserved all the gold records. It was like Elvis, and then the Teenage Mutant
Oh
Ninja
shit!
Turtles.
Man,
I mean, what did I know? If it was music in the '90s, the early '90s. So, while you guys think about that, let's
Joe
see here.
says Hemsworth as Adam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agree.
which we spoke of.
Agree. Richard says, I thought it was going to Netflix Masters of the Universe.
It is.
too.
Yeah,
that's
it will be.
correct.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Definitely.
There might have been some confusion in just the chat there. Let's see. Richard put up a link for us. We'll check that out in a second. Rich, appreciate that, man.
Joe says, "Dude, that was Red Skull's Skeletor."
Well, okay, so there's two
okay.
dudes that played the Red Skull.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad though.
Yeah.
You had-
No,
Yeah,
but
it
him
would
being
be.
Skeletor.
Yeah.
It was Hugo Weaving in
Yeah.
the Captain
Agent
America,
Smith.
the first Avenger,
Mhm.
but then it was the guy that plays the one-handed guy from Walking Dead.
Eric.
Aaron. Yeah. Right.
He played him in Endgame, so or the later versions of the
That's
Red
true.
Skull, because
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving didn't want to come back. But either one would be great, and you make him look like that, and he'll look badass. So there you go.
Peter Jackson does Stoner Cats.
Okay, I could see that.
Okay.
Yeah. Second G.I. Joe was the best
It was
one.
good.
Richard
That
says
was
there.
good.
And then Joe says part two
him
is over.
too.
Yeah. So no disagreeing there. Joe says so Luchador. Probably not tonight, brother. Not tonight, probably.
Right there.
Billy Barty played Wildor.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know.
Thank you, Richard.
Richard, we appreciate that. Guys, we're going to continue the conversation. Hang out with us here. Now we're going to open up the questions. We're going to actually read them while we're going on. So if you guys have anything more you want to add, please feel free. Now is going to be the time, as I'm going to bring us back onto the recording for the audio listening only audience. That's a question I'll put out there for you guys. How do you guys listen? Do you guys just come and join the live? Is that new? Richard, I know you're new, but Joe, I know you said you listen sometimes on other things. Are you still doing that? Let us know. Anybody else out there, what platform or media do you listen to us most on? Guys, for the audio listeners, we just came back. We had a great moment there on the Facebook Live, reading through the comments and the questions. Great conversation, great stuff. Had us all kind of talking and laughing here about multiple different things from the movies, the various movies that came out of 80s cartoons, and pretty much all that stuff. But we're nearing the end here, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get back into the comments. We're going to read a little bit more about what you guys want to know about. Also, kind of just open it up. It's the open forum part on this part. If you have anything else you want to talk about or ask, you want to ask Jack about his business he does over on Toy Dojo or on the Drunken Productionz, which also is, would you say, Jack, that Drunken Productionz is just a drunk version of Toy Dojo?
Well, it's
that fair?
even less than that, because so on Toy Dojo, typically I'll try and get figures that maybe aren't out yet, and then review them so people can see it and they can make a decision on whether I want to purchase this or not. Because again, the ones I typically do are high-end figures. I'm talking about like $100+ right?
Okay.
Not your $5-10 range. So they're $100+. Some of them are up to $200.
Yeah.
So I review them to give the audience, hey, do I want to purchase this one or not, right?
Right.
Now, Drunken Productionz, I'm like, this fucking mug right here, right? It's fucking, and then, so that was more of just like, we'll try and review twice again, but it doesn't matter. I'll do a $5 figure.
So
I'll
it's
do a
not
$20
Transformers
figure.
specific. It's anything.
It could be whatever, right?
It could be
We
whatever.
typically do Transformers, but I could do whatever the fuck. I don't care. Like last time I showed my collection of my whole room, and I went around everything, and I reviewed that crane figure I told you about.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's whatever the fuck. I don't.
I'll
care.
check that out.
Yeah.
I want to see
Yeah,
that. I don't know.
definitely.
I've seen the one that you showed me.
Yeah.
The very answer Aaron's question there, but
Right.
But let's read a couple of comments while we get here near the end, guys, from people that answered. So,
Joe says cheers. Richard says that he watches
Live
live
on
on Facebook.
thank you, Richard. Appreciate that.
He said the link from YouTube is a commercial of
Oh,
He-Man and
nice.
Skeletor.
I gotta see that.
I'll
Okay,
make
cool.
sure to share that with
for sure.
everybody here.
Joe says, I watch y'all here, even though I miss SmackDown. I still download Spotify.
Yeah, nice.
Next Friday, I think baseball starts, so I don't know if I'll be as well. Support your kids, Joe, but
Not a problem,
you
man.
can always hear us anytime you want.
Spotify, Anchor,
You can always
iTunes,
hear us
Google
after
Podcasts.
Friday.
Same goes for you, Richard. If you ever can't join us on the live, man, don't feel obligated. You can catch us anywhere podcasts are available or anywhere you listen to music, including Pandora.
Or you can see us on YouTube.
Amazon Music. Yeah, or you can go see us on YouTube. This will be up on YouTube tonight. So you can go check out some of Jack's videos. Then go
Yeah,
check
so don't
out.
ever feel like you have to be here. Like this will be your only chance. It won't be your only
Yeah,
chance.
man. Yeah, by all means, if you're able to join us for a live, we like that because you get to join the conversation. But if
Yeah.
you can't, hey, you can always still just listen, tell us what you think, and comment. I'll comment on our YouTube channel. Comment on. There's a bunch of previous episodes, Rich. This is what we call season 2, and we're episode 23 right now.
Yeah, 23
So,
of
yeah.
season 2.
And we do
Nice.
we do 25 episodes a season. This is only our
We try to
second
keep
season.
it like a season, like a sitcom kind
It's
of.
more for our organizational
Yeah.
minds to remember. What did we talk about last time? So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. But Jack, how long during does one of your episodes go on either?
So like my YouTube channel for Toy Dojo, I try to keep them 30 minutes or less, just because I don't want to bore the fans, right? Bore my viewers. So I try and keep them at 30 minutes or less. Now, if it's like so that Unicron one, that's gonna because that Unicron one that I'm talking about.
I want to see that.
I
my
wanna see that one,
understanding
too.
on that figure, that bastard takes an hour to transform.
Oh, what the
So,
fuck? It sounds like a
You're
nightmare.
talking about like, I mean, you might as well grab some fucking popcorn or
We
dinner
might
and
have
watch.
to do a
because-
special on that one.
yeah, because that one's huge. So that one takes. So, but I try to
We
keep
can
that
do
30 minutes or
commentary,
left.
wrestling commentary on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
But
My other
my
one,
God, he's
My
opening
God.
it up.
My
He's
God.
gonna break it.
He's
gonna
got a
break
leg.
it.
He's
Yeah.
got a leg.
that's right. The Drunken Productionz one. When I go to that one, I don't know, man, because sometimes we
I
go
know,
live.
I've seen it
Yeah.
go on for a long
Right. So
Yeah.
my last live one, I want to say, man, honestly, it probably went for like 3-4 hours.
It went 4 hours.
Holy
Yeah, 4 hours. Okay,
shit,
yeah.
you were
Yeah.
live for 4
Yeah,
hours.
bro.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what, man? It's fucking like
Our
4
show
in
is
the morning.
nothing compared
No,
to that.
no. So, but again, we get drunk, and a lot of it is just bullshit. And just we don't even fucking. It's usually me because I'm behind the camera and I have my other 2 guys that are there doing, and I'm usually just bitching at them because they keep touching my shit. I leave my shit alone.
I think the last episode, one of the guys went to use the restroom and he fell asleep in there.
Wow.
And he
He
had to
did.
go pull it.
He did. I
He had to
did.
go pull it back.
Yeah, because he fell asleep on my toilet, hugging the porcelain throne. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Get up!
So that's kind
Is
of
that,
stuff
is that
you'll
in the
see.
video? You should cut that in. You should
I need to
add
add
that-
it. It's
add
not
that
in there. I need to
footage.
add it in. Yeah, I do definitely need to add it in.
So
Hey, you get drunk reviewing toys or whatever
It
you're doing.
happens.
that's
going
why it's
on
called
YouTube,
Drunken
guys.
Drunken
Production.
Productionz. That's it.
Very interesting, man.
Definitely.
Very cool. Now, how often do you do those? Are those regularly, or is it? Well, with Toy Dojo, I imagine it's when something comes out.
Yeah. So with the Drunken Productionz, yeah, Toy Dojo. To your point, is when something new comes out, right? We'll review it. The Drunken Productionz one, we try and do that at least every week or bi-weekly, all depending on everybody's schedule. I mean, I'm always up to it, but the other 2 guys, depending on their schedule, so bi-weekly at the longest.
Okay. Very cool, man. Very cool. Let's take a look back at the comments, see if anything else new come in here.
Yeah. Richard says, what cartoon would you want your
Yes.
child or someone of this generation to watch?
Ooh, good point.
Which one?
Good
Okay.
point. Man,
I have to go Turtles. That one's just like the easiest one to maybe hook someone in.
and you know,
That one's just fun.
my nephew went through a couple of phases where there was stuff he was into. Like he was really into Transformers for a while. Maybe when he was closer to 5. I mean, now he's just all video games. You know what I mean? But he kind of went through like a very brief Turtles stage too. But the other ones he didn't really know about. He didn't really know about G.I. Joe or anything like that. Right? When I also really wasn't showing it to him. But he's kind of interested now because when I got the Snake Eyes skin on Fortnite, he was like, "Oh, do you have any comics with him?" That's kind of his new question. He knows I have comics. Do you have comics with him? So I was showing him, and I was showing him on the back of the figure that I got. You can see Snake Eyes on there, and so he thought that was pretty cool. So he kind of wanted to know more. They released the Predator on there too, so I was telling Double A he got into the Predator as well. So I think it's so long as he can kind of connect to something that they know. I know I'm kind of not really answering the question. Maybe Transformers because of like the hand-eye kind of coordination. Like you get to like he loves to build, so he like loves Legos, and he loves like a game like Minecraft because you're constantly building.
Well, you would probably like the Destructicons.
So yeah, I was gonna say. So I think that answer that you said is different from his question, because I think that goes to which toy you would ever deal with. Right?
That's true.
So if I'm going with Richard's question, right? Of
cartoon.
Which cartoon? Honestly, Richard, I would say G.I. Joe, and reason why is because they focus at the very end. They always showed you something, right? I remember one specifically where, and I want to say it was Duke, right? Mm-hmm. So like a power line is on the street, and they're riding their bikes, and he's like, "No, you can't because blah blah blah." So he picks up a stick and moves it, and they're like, "Oh, blah blah blah." He's like, "And knowing is half the battle." So for me, G.I. Joe always taught the lesson for sure, right at the very end. So G.I. Joe would be for me.
That's a great answer, Jack. And you know what? I want to ride with that. I'm going to say that if we're going to say watch, I would like, because you know what, you kind of remember the last thing about the cartoon, like what happened at the end, and you're like, oh, it was this message, and that was. I remember the one with, I think his name was Barbecue.
Yeah, Barbecue.
And the house is on fire, right? I was like, oh, it's a great kind of correlation to put you in that one. You know what I mean?
So
the house is burning down.
So for you guys, again, so to your point, go to YouTube and just look up, like, there's some funny fucking G.I. Joe ones, right? There's one where, to that point, where the house is on fire, and he comes in. It's voiced over, of course, but he comes in, he's like, there's the two kids, and the one kid's like, "You're not cooking." The other guy's like, "Yeah, dude." He's not bad. And then he fucking runs down the hallway. He's like, "Pork chop sandwiches." Get the fuck out of here. So they're I forget what the fuck they're called, but they're fucking funny, man. They're like,
I've seen those.
Yeah, they're
you can probably just have like G.I. Joe parody. And
G.I. Joe parody, and you'll see those. They're fucking hilarious.
Joe says he's going to give you a follow, Jack.
Nice, Joe. Thanks, man.
Joe
Appreciate
will,
that.
man. He's a very good
appreciate that, Joe.
Following along. And Rich says he can't wait for next episode. So we appreciate that, Rich.
Awesome.
Thank you, man. I hope you don't mind if I call you Rich. I call everybody named Rich. So yes, but those G.I. Joes, those fucking videos are hilarious. They do that voiceover shit.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
It makes it great. Guys, what else? Jack, anything you want to promote? Say to the Friday Night Faithful, whatever.
I mean, just again, so toydojo.com is where I promote for their Transformers.
Now, at that link, I'm going to cut you off, but at that link, what do you find there? Is it like the links to your videos as well?
So toydojo.com, you're going to be able to find, again, not only Transformers, but anything. G.I. Joe, everything. If you're into anything you think of, any kind of figure you can think of, for the most part, they have it at toydojo.com. And Toy Dojo is actually located up in Austin, Texas. So if you order online, typically you're getting your stuff within a day or two. Yeah. Or you can, again, it's from here where I live on the southeast side, it's probably about an hour and 20 minutes because traffic in Austin sucks ass. But it's not a long drive, so you can go in there. He's got a small shop in there that he works out of. Great guy too. His name is Eddie. Great, awesome guy. So I would say if you ever want to go look at a toy shop that has many figures that are hard to come by, he probably has them over there at Toy Dojo.
So Star Wars,
He-Man. Voltron, he does a lot of.
I'm down with that.
Oh man, I forgot the name of the other one, but yeah, he's got. anything you could think of, for the most part, he's going to have them there. So. And
on the YouTube, it's strictly you doing reviews.
Right. For the figures that I get from him, either they're ones that he says, "Hey Jack, can you review this for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." Or if it's one that I'm like, "Hey man, I want to buy that," I'll review it on the channel.
And he'll show you how to transform it.
Right, transform it, explain it, all that kind of stuff.
Is it strictly Transformers?
On that one, I try to stick to it, but I have done I've done some stuff from Dragon Ball Z in the past, so it all depends on what's what I feel like doing at that time.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's good to know. I need to go and check out some more of those past episodes. Let's check the comments here a little bit. It says
Ninja Turtles have some not safe for work voiceovers too.
Okay. I need to check those out. Not safe for work voiceovers.
All right.
Just as Southeast Side, shout out. That's right, Joe. What up? That's all three of us right here.
That's it, here.
We're essentially neighbors.
Yeah, really, we really are.
And Richard says I would have to check out Toy Dojo.
Man, nice. Good, Rich. I'm telling you, man, you'll find whatever you need at Toy Dojo. I
didn't know you could buy directly from there, so that's
cool. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
He
said you can order online, or you can just go and check out the shop up there. It's really
and the inventory is all on there.
Yeah, it's all on. You walk in, he's got everything out there in the shop, and online. Yeah, his inventory is online.
Is he open right now during COVID? Or?
Yeah, he is.
Okay,
right, he is.
Cool. Right. I know everyone's doing it safe now.
Yeah,
anyway, so
I think he has a maximum of 5 people in his shop because he has it's a smaller shop. But it's 5 per. But dude, it's definitely worth a trip up there if you.
Right in Austin, huh? Very cool. All right, guys.
Right by the airport, kind of like the airport exit of Austin.
Nice. And that looks like to be all the comments, guys. So that usually means that we're about at the end of the show here. So, again, Double A, anything else to add?
Yeah, this is what I say. Okay, we've said who our favorite villain, but who would you say is the coolest looking villain?
Coolest man.
And it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be anyone in particular. It doesn't have to be any.
You know what? I'm going to go first, if y'all don't mind.
Okay.
And I'm going to go because it's right on top of my head. The reason why I brought him up earlier was, again, from Silverhawks, but Monstar.
Okay.
He starts out like with this kind of like with like an eye, kind of like Cable, like with an eye that's like a spark, and he's got like this crazy hair, and he looks like kind of like fucked up, like a monster. But then when he transforms into Monstar, he gets all these like spikes in his head and these like yellow eyes,
shit.
and he looks fucking pretty crazy.
Holy shit.
He looks pretty crazy. That was a cool toy. I had that toy also. I remember.
Nice. Wow.
And the Silverhawks were neat too because they had kind of like the silver wings and they would open.
Yeah, I remember those guys. Yeah.
But yeah, so that would be for me coolest looking.
Yeah, just coolest looking.
For me, I'm gonna go with Mumra. Because
That's
again, I go from this frail old just mummy to this jacked motherfucker,
of a guy.
Mumra, the ever living, and he's just fucking insane. So for me, it's Mumra.
Serpentor. For me.
Oh,
okay.
nice!
All right,
right
that's
inside the fucking head of the snake.
Right.
He just looked cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved how he would just grab the snake and straighten it out.
Yeah.
And then that was a spear. I'm
Yes.
like, what the fuck is that?
I command.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm like, what power is that? Like, what kind of terrorist are you? Like, that's like magic. Like, like G.I. Joe, you're going off the rails, you know?
Right.
They should have done another movie with that, like incorporated those things. You know what I mean?
Richard says, out of the comics, which cartoons stay true? Well, it's not G.I. Joe because Snake Eyes is the main character of the comics.
Interesting.
Maybe Master. Well, you know what? Even Masters, He-Man starts off as a barbarian.
That might
he's
be
not even like Prince Adam. He's the barbarian.
Yeah.
That gains super strength.
I don't think I read enough of any of the comics to actually give a good answer.
Thundercats? No. Maybe the Turtles. Probably the Turtles. They stay true.
Although they were more violent in the comics.
Right, yeah, they were. Right, but of course you have to lighten it up for children.
Yeah, because like in the cartoon, Duke and Scarlet are together, which is not in the comics. It's always Snake Eyes and Scarlet.
No shit.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Always.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Always.
Interesting.
So I would say Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Joe says Skeletor is the coolest.
I that would be my second probably.
And Richard says Mumra. So
nice. What does Joe say? The yellow plate against the purple.
Skeletor.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that was a good aspect.
That. Yeah.
No, I agree. Skeletor was in my mind to be first, but then I thought
scary looking. Skeletor may be the scariest looking one
for sure.
Maybe because I mean it's just like a floating.
Floating head. With the ripped fucking body.
With the head and the ripped body, for sure. Guys, if there's nothing else, then man, it's been awesome having you on, Jeff.
No, thank you guys both for having me be a guest on your show. I mean, it's awesome. I'm very excited. I was excited to come when you guys told me that. I was like, man, that's awesome. And I was just like, wow, I get to come on the show. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it meant to be earlier in the month, but things happen.
Yeah, things happen.
They get to happen, and hey, man, Jack's also a huge Walking Dead fan, as are we. Walking Dead is coming back this month, guys.
Yeah,
I'd love to chop that up with y'all one day.
Nice pun.
Yeah, no shit. I'd love to get my sister Until
especially with Negan.
Origins.
Yes,
for sure. It's going to be great. I mean, I'd love to have my sister on that one as well because she often has opposing opinions from us when we talk in our Walking Dead group chat. It's just us three.
Yes.
I'll tell her what we're talking about, and she'll have really great opposing. I'm like, I didn't think about it that way.
Sure.
We're these guys are often quick to shit on Rick. You know what I mean? And I still like Rick, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're getting off topic there. But guys, before I get out of here, there is something that we always like to say on the Just Another Friday Night podcast before we let you go, and that is that if there's something that you want to do with your life, you have a hope, a dream, whatever it may be, you want to have as many Transformers as Jack, probably never happen. But if you want to own a giant Unicron,
probably
that might not happen either. But bullshit.
I'll show you one.
Seize the day, guys, because guess what? You can go on Toy Dojo. You can try to find it. You can try to buy it. You can reach out to a guy like Jack. If you want it, there's a way for it to be had. So seize the day. And I'm going to tell you, to get it, it's going to take a lot. So you got to do whatever it takes. Just like Cap says, guys, if it means you got to get a second job, a third job, you got to sell some shit that you have that you don't want anymore so you can get that giant ass Unicron, you can do it. It's just going to take a lot, whatever it takes. So remember, seize the day, guys, and do whatever it takes. For myself, CM Chuck here at Just Another Friday Night, and
Jack from Toy Dojo and Drunken Productionz.
Double A, co-host of your Just Another Friday Night.
Guys, it's been real. Have a good night, and we'll see you next Friday night. Good night.